Nvidia. It's going to break 1,200. See you on the other side. Ciao.
Go.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as that midday show. That right there is your girl Adara, and I am Sharif, and we have a lot of early birds.
Look at how many times that banner was popping up there.
Wow, Ram, take it easy over there. We just started. What's up, Chase Bands, Kevin Mendoza, Big Kyle Burdett in the house early as usual. We got Brandon Townsend, Mahat. We got Cairo, Pitchbull, Monty G, Howard 28, Big Michael Lloyd, Soul Queen 88. Hello there. We got Kevin Mendoza again, Capucci, electronic music producer 1320 Wolf. We got Benson, Monty G, TH, Starvin like 21. We got Scott H as well as Gorev, DOG Darwin joining us today. Bora, we got Professor Love, sounds like Brother Love from wrestling. Fiddlebeck, Big Bob Dub, Apple Fritter, Sebastian Microplayer. We got the Random, we got 2 New York Cents as well as Vin Duong and Mike Breeze. I like that name too. Fat Figure joining us today as well. Good morning, Adara.
Good morning. How are you this fine Wednesday?
It's not bad. It's humid as you know what outside, but it's not sunny, so it's tolerable.
That's fair, that's fair.
How
it goes on your little walk.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. We always be doing the most in a good way. All right, guys, couple of things. I'm still in the sim, still blocked out of my live account. Nothing I can do about that. Hopefully the last day, but we're trading these markets on the sim, and this is what I'm doing right now. I'm long Apple. I don't know why it doesn't show my Taiwan semiconductor position on the board, but oh, because I'm out of it completely. Oh, silly me. All right. Well, Taiwan Semi was a pretty, I don't want to say simple trade, but the idea was quite simple here. Let me show you real quick where I got off. I got in at the 10-period retracement on the 5. Nothing really complicated about that. This has been very strong on the headline that they're opening up a new fab in Singapore with NXP as a joint venture. So this one already had a catalyst to start. 930 comes along and it just continues to move up. We're at 6.84% in the clear. So when I sat down, I'm like, all right, let's see what's doing the most. Obviously, the chips are up bigly today. So I said, all right, waiting for this one to come into a key technical area. It's obviously trending. It wasn't a 20 period here. It was a 10 period. And as you can see, we're still pamping here. I got in at 162, took too much out too quickly. That's kind of like been my modus operandi as of late. We're going to throw in the ticker there real quick for TSM. That's the one trade I have on at the moment. Sorry, I had on. The other one, AAPL. Again, no specific catalyst for Apple today, but everybody and their mother's cousin knows what is happening on Monday. And in case you don't know, let me tell you, it's Apple's WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference, widely anticipated amongst market participants that this will be when they announce major AI kind of revelations, announcements, whatever it's going to be. So we'll have to wait and see what they get. I'm anticipating a sell the news event on Monday, but that may come, that may not come. The other trade I just got into right now, NVAX, one of the small cap gappers that's making moves on the day, baby, 18% in the clear, having done 20 million shares, and this is a very similar trade to, whatchamacallit, TSM, where it's retracing into the 10, so it's going to have to hold up above 2075. That is my line in the sand. We're already 25 pennies out of the money. This has to hold up at the 10 period, or that's going to be the end of the trade. So that's what I'm looking at right now, NVAX. And AAPL, it's been a very, very range-bound trade. I got long at 195s. We knew that 195 was a clear area. What's going on? Go ahead.
I'm just pointing at Nvidia. I'm waiting for it to break the high of day. We're getting close. We made a new high of day. It was 1199.84. 1190. Oh, are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Nvidia, are you going to get 1200? No, we didn't. I feel like Nvidia is really going to make you wait for it. Like, it might take us a couple more tests before we get that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say, like,
it's
hey,
very important.
this NVDA is moving. I've noticed, though, every time we get close, we get ducked back below 1199, so let's watch out for that. AMD, though, falling a little bit here, so I got, okay. We're going to take out half the position. I'm just playing this range, but if it wants to break lower, I'll keep the rest in for there. But yeah, NVIDIA, now trying again for the 11.99. I always watch the book on NVDA, and what I'm noticing on the book is we are having higher lows. So initially we got down to 11.98. Now we're getting to 11.99s before we bounce, right? So I don't think that's a bad sign at all. I do want to shout out Sharif for his trades as well. I love that Apple range, and that TSM was awesome. So shout out
not too bad.
to you. So Nvidia, I'd love to shout you out at 1200, but you have to get there first.
That's going to be very exciting. But the other news that's exciting, GameStop is going again, guys. Here we go, 13.75%. Looking to take high days. It's ranging above 30 right now. Definitely has had trouble with 30 on the day. We initially attempted a 30 break at around 10:15. That was the initial break. Attempted again at 10:30, and now we're doing a third attempt over here at 6 past the hour. Let's see if GameStop can get going. Well, not all, but there's a lot of eyes on this name. Let's not fool ourselves with Roaring Kitty coming over the weekend. What's up? Sorry, were you saying something? Oh, my bad. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know why I was hanging. Shout out to Ram. Always helping me out. So yeah, that's the look right now. Let's just flip back to NVAX real quick to see if we're going to get stopped out of that. No, right back in break even. So I'm going to let this one go as we do the lesson. And I'm going to put my beak wetter at 50s. Let's go at 21.50. All right.
So you have some super chats, both addressed to you, both I think about the mustache.
Oh wow, big Kyle Burdett, $2 super chat. Sharif starting to think you are on the no-fly list. I love it. Hey, you know what, man? It wouldn't be the first time somebody said that, but it's neither here nor there. Diamond Realty of Miami. What's up? Member for 23 months, a person that I know very well, one of the OGs there in the chat. If you shave the stash, they'll let you trade again. Yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it has nothing to do with my ID. Maybe they just don't want to break it to me because they're afraid for my feelings. So who knows? I'll talk up to the floor manager later. Shout out to the undefeated chat there. Always doing the absolute most in a good way. All right, Ram. We're ready for the lesson du jour, baby. We're talking about the short squeeze all week. Today, we're going to talk about shorting the afternoon fade. So oftentimes, these bad boys, they get a nice pump up in the pre. Sometimes it continues after the bell. But oftentimes, what we end up seeing is them fade in the afternoon. That's what we're going to chat about today. So this lesson dives into fading the afternoon strength for meme stocks. We'll explore how to potentially capitalize on price pullbacks that sometimes occur after the initial hype of the day. So we all know about the meme roller coaster. If you were around in 2021, you know all about it. If you weren't, you probably heard about it. In any case, meme stocks, often fueled by social media buzz and retail investor excitement, can experience explosive price jumps. However, this excitement doesn't always last. The afternoon fade, so to speak, describes the potential for a price decline later in the trading day as the initial buying pressure subsides. So how do we tame this afternoon fade, so to speak? So fading the afternoon strength in meme stocks involves shorting the stocks after its morning surge, aiming to profit if the price dips later in the trading day. While inherently risky, no question about that, this strategy can be lucrative if executed correctly. So one of the ways you can execute it is through an RSI reversal short. There are so many different ways you can try to trade these names to fade the afternoon fade the afternoon weakness after the initial strength. Today, we're going to be talking about the RSI reversal short. So here's a strategy for fading the afternoon strength in meme stocks using the relative strength index. First, one obviously is you're going to identify a meme stock. Look for meme stocks experiencing a significant price increase in the pre-market or in the early trading session. So we got GME going up 13%. So we got one. Check. Then monitor the RSI. The RSI, obviously, as some of us know, is a technical indicator that measures how overbought or oversold a stock is. And then step number 3, you're going to wait for the RSI to overshoot. Essentially, you're waiting for your signal. So as the meme stock or the heavily shorted name surges, the RSI typically will rise as well. What you're waiting for here is the RSI to reach the overbought territory, typically above 70. Then the afternoon fade confirmation. This is going to be your entry signal, so to speak. If the price starts to pull back slightly after reaching its intraday high and the RSI remains above 70, this could be a sign of a potential afternoon fade. This is what we call RSI price divergence. Now, it can happen one of two ways. The price can continue to rise and RSI can continue to go down, or RSI can continue to go up and the price can start going down. In either case, you're getting a divergence, and that's really what you should be looking for. RSI price divergence, a lot easier said than done. And then your entry. So your short entry and your stop loss are going to be your two orders you're going to place out. You're going to place a short sell order on the name after the price pullback and RSI confirmation. Then simultaneously, obviously, set a stop loss order above the intraday high to limit potential losses if the price continues to rise. You want to be able to get out. Simple way to explain, much more difficult to execute IRL. And remember, the afternoon fade is by no means a guarantee with these meme stocks or heavily shorted names. They can be highly volatile, and the price might continue to climb despite the RSI being in oversold or overbought territory, excuse me. And you've got to make sure that your quick exit is key. These guys, they don't hang out in the price level for all that long. You need to be cognizant of that, and you need to be able to execute and get out when you need to. And last but not least, risk management is absolutely crucial. Shorting involves significant risk because you're theoretically on the hook for an unlimited amount of losses. Theoretically, I say, as you can lose more than your initial investment. Only allocate a small portion of your capital to these types of trades.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
Sharif. But yeah, no, you definitely want to make sure that you are not putting like the whole mustache into each trade.
Wow.
I was like, oh no. You want to definitely put like only, you know, just a skosh. Make sure that your capital is being arranged accordingly. I don't know why I mentioned mustache there. I just had to ride the meme train. But yeah, I was joking to Sharif. I was like, there needs to be like a mustache, like stable coin or something. I don't know. But yeah, so shout out to the mustache. Also, Nvidia, again, I'd love to show you out at 1200, but you have to go there first. We did make a higher low here, mind you. So our previous failure at that 1200 level took us down to 1196. This one just took us down to 7740s. So it's like, you know, Nvidia, try to see if you get back up there. Also, if you do, maybe you'll help my AMD trade. I'm gonna have to show this on a minute chart, even though I'm trading it off the 5, because I'm aware the fills on this are just, well, a lot, but I'm really proud of what I did here. Nice. Yesterday, I found my trades that worked the best were just when I really hunkered down, got into one name, and then just added it in and out with just a wild frenetic energy, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I had the shorts initially, right? So we got involved at that almost 165.90s, took out half out at 70s, then got the rest out at 80s. Then I decided, hey, Adara, I think we're flipping long based on what you're seeing on support and resistance. So I got into the long. I am so proud of myself for not having a panic sell, because I often do. I did not like that we got into 70s. I said, Dara, as long as you stay above 60s, you're fine. We did. So, and the second I was even going to consider maybe having a panic sell moment, AMD was like, no, Adara, it's okay. Bounced right up into my point of entry. And I think when I do these trades too, I have to have my sell orders placed in immediately, because I'm like, this trade is here for a good time and not a long time. We can like get wicked in and then wick right back out. So with that in mind, I don't like, especially on that 1 minute chart, I didn't like that little resistance I'm seeing coming up here around that 166.25. So I'm gonna get out here. Does that mean I am not looking at this again? Oh no, I will continue to look. Also, did Nvidia get 12? No, Nvidia got 1199.93. It's like it knows it's gonna at a milestone. It's like, I'm not gonna give it to you yet. I'm gonna be sneaky. So shout out to NVDA, although again, NVIDIA, I'll be able to shout you out more properly if you get to that level. Also, I've noticed AMD and NVIDIA kind of moving opposite, mostly on like a book or chart basis and less on, you know, the overall pattern. But AMD, every time we get that little move up in NVIDIA, AMD gets a little bit scared, so I need to be aware of that as someone who's in a long. I have no qualms about flipping short. We know me. In fact, I'd probably prefer it. So, okay, we're out of AMD though, so that's awesome. Thank you. I will say cheese as well. I am pleased as punch with that trade. Yeah, I'm still watching Nvidia here, guys. Do not worry about that. Also, another trade I made before we went live that I did not get to talk about or forgot to talk about is the SPY. I am down in this name, but I'm really proud of how I managed this. Initially got involved, took 2/3 of the position out at, I think I got like 10 pennies for a SPY trade. I'm okay with that. Like I said, with SPY, I'm usually scalpy. Then I added in because I thought I'd have another opportunity to get to the lows. The second we broke above 531, I left and you know, again, managed it pretty appropriately. Obviously happy I got it where I did, because then we had that high of day break. But I think it's about A, having the confidence to get into trades you like, and B, being able to using that confidence to stay in your trades, then C, being able to manage accordingly. That's the ABCs of trading that I'm trying to work on there. Also, I want to, something Sean said yesterday that really resonated with me is he's like, you know, like I know you guys say confidence, but really it's just about having confidence in yourself. I agree with that, but I also think sometimes it's like, you know, Sean's confidence inspires me. If you have that, you know, that's the kind of confidence you want in a trader, so I want to shout that out. Also, again, Nvidia, I'll shout you out once you get your 1200. That's a threat. How are you doing?
Yeah, you threatened that stock, Adara. No, seriously though. All right, I'm taking a little bit out of Apple here because, well, it's range bound, so I might as well play the range. So we took out some there in the mid 60s. NVAX is going as planned here. The dip onto the 10 period holds, and now we're nicely in the money there. Took some out at 69s, and now I'm waiting at 88s to see if I can get that fill. I was about to short Amazon, okay? Until I saw the market is absolutely flying and we could see 19,000 today. And the reason I wanted to short Zon, look at this top over here. I mean, this goes to the institutional prints top out there, the IB high tops out there. We get the wick shimmy from the south side all morning through there. So it's like, okay, Amazon's coming into that 180.50. I'm going to go short. And then I just looked away for a second. When I came back, it was at 180.75. So I was like, good. Hell of a double bottom there off that 179-ish and change, high 178, so to speak. It's really going now. And so is the dead one as Apple is really pumping up here into 195.75. It's still in that range. You guys can short this here. The only thing is that I would be concerned with is it's, you know, putting in incrementally higher lows. So even though the trend, or sorry, the range is still intact, we haven't broken above or below the range. As you can see, each successive low a little bit higher than the other one, that usually spells a breakout of some sort. So we'll see exactly how it all ends up unfolding there. NVAX, I'm still waiting at 88. I still haven't gotten that, so I'm going to pack my patience on that one. It was just basically the other Apple trade. I loaded this up, Amazon, to short it, and then thank God I didn't. So I want to come back into Taiwan Semi, because I think I want to get back into Taiwan Semi here if it is still valid. Let's have a look at TSM on the 5 to figure out what's what. Okay, so a 10-period hold initially over here, 10:05. We get another 10-period hold. This one it lasts for 15 minutes from 10:45 to 10:55. And then we haven't touched the 10-period since that time. I don't know how many 10-period holds we get before we get a 20-period retracement, because that's what I'm waiting for. So I think the next trade I may take on TSM will be a deeper retracement, possibly into the 20. The 20 at the moment hanging out a skosh above 161.50, maybe 161 2/3 in and around that area. But I like TSM today. It's looking awfully good. No beef with TSM. So let's leave that side chart over there. NVAX, let's go NVAX, baby. Let's go into 88s, printing 75s now on NVAX, long 25s for a 10-period retracement. NVAX, a monster, heavily shorted name too, guys. So we're talking about the short squeeze all week. So it's very apropos that we mentioned the short float on NVAX. This was a pandemic darling. It had an alternative vaccine, and we all know what some of these vaccine names did. 32.58% of the float is shorted, Ram, and that's, I would submit to Ram that that's a quite substantial short float there. About 139 million shares of the shares float. I can get that. I can get it. Just give me a second. So that is the look there. All right, Apple. Apple is coming into 196, and I've got an order hanging out at 95s. We're 3 pennies away from getting filled. We're long 195.02. Reason is we were long at 195 is because Apple had a resistance level of 195 for the last 3 days. So once we claim it on a closing basis, look to use it as support. That's the philosophy I was using for this trade. Let's see if it prints.
Yeah, I'm taking trades, and there's one that you might see my blotter that I'm going to talk about. But basically, actually, Kate, this is a transition. I'm an NVDL because I'm looking at this NVDA. I think we're going to get a breakout. We're getting higher lows. I think if we get this breakout, you know, Neil said something earlier that really resonated with me, and it's like, you don't want to miss those breakouts. You know what I mean? Those are the type of trades you'd regret more if you didn't take it than if you, I'm paraphrasing a lot. He said it way better than I did. But basically, I like this long. If we break below, if we make like a kind of a lower low here, if we break below into this 25s area, I'll have to get out. So I'm risking like 18, 19 pennies. But honestly, you know, as Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh.
So that's what I want to do. You know, Nvidia, I would love this even more if you just went higher, but I don't know if we're going to get that. Like I said, 1197, like 40s, to me was that bottom earlier, so we're going to have to watch this. But I do have confidence in this trade. And so I think I do owe it to myself to try to take this. You know, Nvidia, if you don't bounce here, though, things are getting a little bit dicey because I do think Nvidia has definitely the opportunity for that breakout. It just needs to be able to make that happen. Also talk about HPE because I am in that as well. And you might be like, well, huh? It's an earnings. Oh, I'm so proud of it. It's an earnings name here, and I wanted these lower highs here, but also we have something else to talk about.
All right, guys, we are brought to you by American Airs, trading in the USA under symbol AAIRF, and in Canada under the symbol Wi-Fi, WIFI. This company just announced a knockout punch, a global marketing partnership with the UFC. Airs Tech is dedicated to bridging the gap between technology and wellness. Airs Tech's mission is to provide cutting-edge solutions that protect against electromagnetic radiation without disrupting everyday use of technology. This innovative company has seen consistent revenue growth and boasts several high-profile customers like Russell Brand and top UFC athletes. Invest in American Airs today on the OTC as AAIRF and on the Canadian Stock Exchange as WIFI. Shout out to the good folks there at American Airs. Idara, sorry to interrupt you. You can go back.
Yeah, no worries. I don't have much more to say here.
Yeah.
I'm an HPE. We are a couple pennies away from getting filled in the first part of my position. I am pleased as punch. But I mean, probably have more to say once I'm actually like, you know, more has happened there. But I like a flat bottom break in HPE.
Flat bottom break?
Oh, but,
okay, well, apparently we have to talk when we hit this animation because it disappointed.
But look at this.
Go ahead.
To me, that's a flat bottom break.
Well, yeah, it's
Right?
a fantastic look. I just want
you.
to hit the animation.
I appreciate that. How are you doing?
Good. We just got prints on Apple at the high end of the range again as it knocks on the door of 196. The dead one ain't dead today, baby, and it hasn't been dead the last few days. Big news coming for this one on Monday. I still anticipate a sell the news event. In fact, I anticipate it so much I will be adding to my position on a dip to Apple. I haven't added since the 160s, and I'll be looking to add again on Monday. Hopefully, we do get that sell the news type event. Nothing is guaranteed, obviously, but that is the look. All right, so it's printing on Apple right now as it knocks on the door of 196. We're long 195.02. Let's go back into NVAX. This one giving me some trouble here. Now it's kind of like taking its breath, you know, catching a drink, doing what it needs to do, and I don't like that because I want to print. So we're waiting at 88s. We're getting 78s. Here comes 80s. So now it heard me complain, and it may be reacting to it here. As Neil says, give me, always gets. So, well, yeah, we'll see about that. Here comes 82s, 83s showing up, 84s now. We're waiting at 88s. We'll see if we get that print. 22, almost 23% in the clear today. And I didn't even see, oh, here it is. Okay. This is the headline, in case you care. Not really that we care too much for technical traders. Novak shares jumped 21% after vaccine maker says COVID shots for whatever JN1 variant neutralizes newer strains. Oh, that's pretty cool. Not like I'll be taking it, but whatever. Anyway, printed at 88s. Let's see if we can continue to go into HOD on the day. HOD over here at 22.25, Idara. So still some time here before we get into the high day. Let's see if it's able to make it. Let's put another beak wetter on the other side. Well, I'll put it at 98s because, you know, we might get resistance here. And then I'll put one beak wetter at 98s. And then we'll put one at 15 on the north side of 22. Let's see if they print there. Let me bring in the side charts here for you guys because we didn't really discuss the small cap gappers du jour that I've got on here. And I got to tell you, it's a light bunch today. I know we got NVVE, but it's now below the WAP. And to me, it's kind of not tradable as a breakout trade here. You can still range trade it or look to do something else. Right now, we're getting support at 115 on NVE. This is the pre-market high right there at 115. So there could be a level of support on NVVE at this level here. And you're already getting 3 5-minute candles that have so far defended that level. Let me give you the deets on this name. 7.33 million market cap, absolutely minuscule. 87.5 million shares traded today. And the float, a monster, it's a joke, 4.6 million share float. What is the short float over here? NVVE, shout out to the NOS boss and his crew. Negligible, about 2 2.2% of the float is shorted there. So I want to see, number one, does this hold up at that $1.15? If it does, fantastic. Can it get back above the WAP at $1.33? That's the only way I'll trade this one north of there.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I did have to exit NVDL. So we had an NVDL on NVDL, but I'm proud of myself for this because initially when I still had so much confidence, when I saw that first bounce off 67.25s, which as I mentioned, that was gonna be my stop, I added a little bit because I was like, you know what, Adara, you really feel confident in this breakout. You watched Nvidia nuzzle her little like head up like a cat, you know, nuzzling for its owner to get a little head rub, heading into that 1200. So I said, Adara, add to your NVDL. And then NVD fell. So that was unfortunate, but it's all good. This is my worst name of the day, but I still, again, happy with the management and really happy I had the confidence to take the trade because confidence matters so much. So shout out to NVDA. I know I said I was going to withhold the shout out until it broke above 1200, but at this point, we're now below 1196. So shout out. I have to give it a shout out sometime. But Nvidia, you know, if you want to go further, there's so many people counting on you. You have to bounce up. I made it sound like it was like an intervention. Nvidia, if you bounce off 1195, you can see your dreams come true. Look at this. Look at this pre-market level. Not pre-market. Wow. Look at this level at 10 a.m. that we pushed up into this 1195. Look where we bounced. That's right, 1195. This 1195 could be a key level, and I like it so much I might take it again on NVDL. Also, I'm so proud of this HPE. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I did take out part of the position. I was gonna add up here, but I said to Dara, like, you don't wanna just add for the sake of adding. If we get back into 75s, that's where I would add, I think. And if we break above this area that we had earlier, this 82s, that's where things are getting really dicey. If we break above 85s, I'm out. So that's the plan here with HPE. That being said, I'd love to take profits. Like if you just want to flat bottom break HPE, I'll take everything I can get here. I'll take a little bit more out at 67s if we get it, because I think we're edging towards that. Then I'll still have 20% of the position. At that case, you know, like I said, I'm looking to add as well. Nvidia is not bouncing here, so I'm not going to get involved here. IBIT breaking out with BTC, though, says Manuel Palma. So let's take a look and see if how this IBIT is going. Oh, it's a nice look. Sorry for the pause there. I was just waiting for the chart to pull up. I like these higher highs, higher lows. I like that we pushed above that little pre-market resistance area around 40.65 or 40.63, weirdly. I like this look. Also, I want to bring everyone's attention to the miners. I mentioned this a couple times on the big desk. Riot and Mara, both a little bit weaker here on the day initially. Riot, though, getting targeted by this Kerrisdale short sell. And they basically said, oh, the miners are snake oil salesmen. But Riot right now, if we break above VWAP, I think that could get spicy. This is not one that I have my eyes on. I already have my hands in too many trading pies right now, so I'm going to focus on my NVDL, my AMD, which AMD, if you want to bounce here, I will get involved, and my HPE. So good times, good trades. Hope everyone's having a good morning.
Yeah, that HPE, I gotta shout you out on that because I actually put that up on the side chart in the morning as one hell of a short. It's been doing the absolute most respectful 10-period retracement dance in the history of 10-period retracement dances. If that wasn't hyperbole, I don't know what is. But this is the look here. As you can see, the green solid line is that 10-period moving average, and it's been doing that kind of magnetic effect that the Knob always talks about. Great look there for the HPE short. I'm still waiting on 88s, or sorry, not 88s, on NVAX. I'm waiting at 22s. We printed as high, I believe, as mid-95s. I'll just pack my patience on this one, but it's the Apple trade that I literally have top wick at the moment over here at 196.15. Let's see if Apple can continue to run. I took this as a range trade, but as you can see, that range ain't in effect anymore. That range was 195.80-ish to the high side, and now we're talking about 196.20. I'm long 195.02. Let's see exactly if we can keep moving up here on the dead one. I'm gonna remove this TSM dip trade that I had. It's no longer valid, but I do want a dip trade on TSM. Let me just tell you real quick here exactly where I want it. I'm looking for a 20-period retracement on TSM. So I'm gonna wait at 161.88. And the reason I put it there is it's a little bit higher than the 20 period, but I anticipate the 20 period is going to move up a little bit, right? The 20 period is a dynamic line. It's not stagnant. As the price remains high, the 20 period will move up. So I'm anticipating that the 20 period will be around that high 80s area by the time the price makes it down. That's why I'm front running the size at 75 on Taiwan Semi. So let's see if we get that. There isn't much else here, but I see you guys talking about ASNS. I'm not going to trade these halting names because they're hard to manage risk on, but as you can see, ASNS really started pumping up at 4 a.m. It really started moving yesterday at 4:30, right? It had been doing nothing. This thing was 47 pennies, 50 pennies prior to 4:30 in the afternoon yesterday. Then we end up closing at 8 p.m. at the end. I didn't watch this on Blue Ocean after, but the last print in the aftermarket there seems to be about 1 1/3. Then this morning at 4 a.m., we opened up at 160, and by the time 425 came around, we had gotten a lot higher than where we are now, 6 1/3 topping tail candle. Then the bell rings, and this thing does absolutely nothing. In fact, it sells off. Now it's back above VWAP, but look how many times this monster's halted. Let me show you. I can't even count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thank you, Neil. 17. 17 halts on ASNS. Needless to say, I don't want any of this smoke, but it is up 761%, so it behooves me to tell you a little bit about it. And the fact of the matter is, it's got a market cap of $13.5 million. Surprisingly enough, it's been able to eke out about 46.6 million shares on the day, despite being halted this many times. The float is 3.123 million shares, and let's bring down trade ideas here to see what the short float, if anything, is. There it is. 1.49, so 1.5% of that float is shorted, so not anything worth really mentioning. It's halted down now at 405, but as you can see, even the halts are respecting the 10 period. I mean, the halt and the 10 period are kind of, they're separate. I mean, they don't have to be contradictory. So this is absolutely holding the 10 period, even though it keeps halting to the upside. Even on the down halts, it's holding the 10 period. On the 1 anyway. Let's see what it's doing on the 5. Yeah, it's really extended away from the 10 period on the 5. So if you're going to trade this off the moving average, I would say you'd have to be looking at the 1. I'm not going to trade this either way, sim or not. That's not my style. And so we'll see what this one does. TSM, all right, didn't even come close into my dip trade at the 20, so we may not be getting refilled on that. I also wanted to mention that CrowdStrike is on my my side chart today. I realize it's not a small cap gapper, but I want to see what this one does. It's topping out here at the 50 period on the 5 at around 329. We have several topping tail candles starting from 5 after the hour and continuing to currently. That isn't able to break above the 50 period on the 5, and we actually got into that level around 10:30. Weren't able to break it either. So CrowdStrike, one hell of a report, one hell of a day yesterday and today, but down since the bell. Adair.
Yeah, that TSM, I want to show it again, Sherry's TSM trade from earlier because that was awesome. I saw that on the side chart and I was like, ooh. So I've showed it to you. And Nvidia, again, Nvidia would love to shout you out. You need to get to 1,200. I know I'm speaking to it like I'm a disappointed parent, but I am. Now we're not even, like we're having lower highs too. Now the highest we get on Nvidia is 11.99. So I'm just being cognizant of that. I did take out part of my position at 11.99, or sorry, the equivalent of 11.99, which for me is roughly just above 67.40s on NVDL. I will keep adding back in if we keep bouncing off 27, that'd be bad. 67.20 on NVDL. I will stay in this position. I do think I'm going to have to change my plan of action here. And by that I mean, I do not love this topping tail candle we got at the equivalent of 11.99 on NVDA. I know we really want Nvidia to break 1,200, but I think it's going to make us work for it a little bit more than maybe initially anticipated. But you know what's I'm actually really happy is not making me work too hard for it is this HPE.
Oh.
HPE, I have like so few shares. I have a scintilla of shares left. I'm not getting rid of them yet. I don't know, why not? I'm pleased as punch with this. Probably should have had a larger position here, but the initial plan was to add if we got into 83s. HPE just never got that high, so it's all good. You know, I'd rather, I mean, if it's gonna go in my direction, I can't sit here and complain about it. You know what I mean? Like, oh.
Did you say initial pun or initial plan? I heard pun.
Plan. I mean,
I heard pun.
You know I have puns of action as well, let's be very clear. But yeah, to me, this HPE continuing to be really spicy. These topping tail candles, I'm like, HPE, if you want to break down even further, if you get back to 70s, heck, I might add a couple shares, but I am really pleased as punch with what we're doing. Also, I did get some of that NVDL out here, so I'm happy to say that is a small NVDW. And like Nvidia, if you want to break above, you know Nvidia how I feel about you. If you want to break above that 11.99, I will stay in your sister stock NVDL. If not, I mean, I'll probably still stay. I have no reason to leave, but I will be a little bit grumpier about it. So there we go, Nvidia. I have laid down the line. It's up to you now. Also, if we keep bouncing off 35s or 30s, I will add to NVDL. I am proud of what I've done with NVDL and AMD, what I tried to do in HPE. And when I say tried, it's just because it didn't give me enough levels. But just continuing to like wait at a level like a little hawk and be like, or like a cat batting at like the post with these shares. That's what I'm trying to do. Things get to a level, I get out. They get to a level, I add a little bit more in. You know what I mean? I'm really trying to get better at scalping and ranging. Proud of the work we did so far today. Let's hopefully keep it coming. Yes, I am talking to you and VDL. Also HPE like popped up here, so I'm gonna have to monitor that. Again, really small position left in this one. How are you
tell
doing?
that stock.
I will.
All right, I want to read what a couple of people wrote in the chat over here. Big Kyle says, SPY starting to gather a short position. I said, what are you seeing, Kyle? He's like, an almost 1% up move from yesterday's afternoon takeoff and coming into all-time high areas on daily. Absolutely accurate. We know that 19,000 definitely will be a line in the sand. Then D. Westermeyer, shout out my man. Nvidia has not reached, and then he corrected himself, I believe, and said oversold. Nvidia has not reached, I lost it. Oversold Williams percent on the daily since October of 2023. That's, I don't know, moose-ish? Bullish, if I've ever seen it. All right. Shout out to D. Westermeyer, baby. And Tisha wants us to look at NVVE. Wow, Apple. Apple is really going here, guys. Apple is by far at high a day, 196.55. It's up over 1% right now. I just got printed at the $0.50. Apple is really, really going here. What a move up by Apple. And it broke the IB high. Look at that huge topping tail candle that we got initially, I think right at 9:30, 9:32 exactly. We topped out there at 196, low 40s. We're about to hit 60s right now on the dead one. It ain't dead, baby. It's coming into resistance level 2 on pivots. I'm going to be looking for resistance around here. So we'll see exactly whether the pivots feature today in Apple's price action, pardon me, or not. It's the strongest of the bunch right now, chart-wise, not percentage-wise, just chart-wise. It's very aggressive at the moment. So keeping an eye on the dead one right now, AAPL. But we're going to look at NVVE for Tisha Perkins. 1 sec, let me just load up that bad boy, NVVE. Nuve Holdings. All right, so this is the daily. You guys get the idea what kind of daily chart this is. I needn't comment on it. The 5-minute. Good look here, Tisha. It looks like we really started moving in the pre, so we have an identifiable pre-market high. I like this area, Tisha. I'm a little too late, though. I definitely would have been interested in that 115 bounce, $1.15, owing to that double top that we had at 835 and 840 on the 5. It holds up there. We break it right after the bell at 9:40, and then lo and behold, we come right back into that 115, 114 area, and we get a hold. Surprised? Not me. But look for resistance at the WAP right here as it jumped up from that 115 right into 1 1/3 at VWAP. That could be a resistance level. So look for a break here or be a little bit suspicious or play the range if it gives you the range, Tisha. If that 114, 115 holds up again, you could look to get short at VWAP, cover there at 115, 114, go long again if it presents you that. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying, you know, you could look to take these small cap gappers long or short below VWAP as long as it's not a breakout trade, in my humble estimation. So we'll continue to watch that. All right, we're going to put some beak wetters on the dead one here. Let's see. Let's put it at 74s. It already made it up to 74s, but we're just going to put it there for you know what and giggles. NVAX, becoming awfully consolidative at this level. So we're long at the $0.25. The best it could do after I got in was move into that 22 area. But since that time, it's been awfully consolidative with a bit of a range here, about 2140 to the south side and about 2180 to the north side. We'll have to see if it can break out of that range. It was awfully trendy this morning, but as is the case, a lot of the times, the midday is that day for the range and for that consolidation to start. So if that ends up being the case here, I'm not going to let any part of this go against me.
Yeah, midday is the day for the range. My favorite words that have ever been said. That NVAX actually is a pretty spicy looking range. I'm gonna have to put that on my side chart. But NVDL is also on my side chart. NVDA, we have Jarhead Trader bringing up NVDA in the chat. Don't worry, guys. I have been watching this one. I have not been able to take my eyes off of this one. In fact, I liked it so much, I did get involved in its little sister, NVDL, which initially we did take a bit of an NVDL on my first trade on this, and that was simply because my entry point was really rough, and we just didn't have enough tests of that 1200 yet. Now we've tested it so many times on like a Dara, you feel confident, you feel good. Basically, as we go up, I'm adding to this position and scalping it out. It's like wax on, wax off. You know, we're trying to be not Mr. Miyagi over here. Maybe I'm you know, Ralph Macchio. I don't know. But hopefully we get this Nvidia. What did I say like that? Coming up here, high of day right now, 11.99.93. Right now we got to that 11.99.80s, then sold back off. I need this Nvidia to get a little bit of hustle in it. And the only reason I'm keeping this chart up so much is because, you know, I know everyone's looking at this, so I did want to keep that up, bring that up there. And yes, NVDL, I'm talking to you. Please move. Thank you. Also, HPE, I got out of this trade. I want to talk about why. I'm really proud of myself for not panic selling when we had that random wick into 80s. I said, Adara, wait, add. I noticed that I just wasn't feeling comfortable in the trade anymore, so I scalped out around 70s, did not take anything out of the money. So I'm really proud of myself for how I did that. I waited, but I still did not level these crazy wicks. I said, Adara, you've had your fun. You can get back in. If we keep rejecting 70s, I might start a small position again in 70s, but I just wanted to have a little bit more peace of mind, especially because you have no peace of mind in NVDA. You just don't. So I was like, if I'm going to be involved in NVIDIA and then also have this nonsense with HPE, just focus on one type of nonsense and not two. Although HPE, I will be coming for you again. Don't worry, you're still on my side chart. What else are we looking at here, guys? I want to see what everyone else. NVIDIA bounce again, says Sean James. Oh yeah, don't worry. We will be giving you that NVIDIA breakout because we will be having it. Yes, NVIDIA, you will. So there we go. If anyone's looking at anything else, definitely let me know. I want to be able to see what everyone's looking at here. And I think we might get that 1200. So I think we're going to hopefully stay here for a little bit because we're getting 11.99.90s on the sell side over here on NVDA. Okay, I think we might be getting this breakout on the midday show. Woo! I think we might be having it.
Do it.
Sorry, we're just keeping this chart up, guys, but it's like we want to be able to get this on camera. Do you know what I mean? Do you have any words for NVIDIA before it becomes 1200?
Hurry up.
Yeah, it's fair. I was like, will you give me like a nice little toast? And Sharif's like, no, I'm done with this nonsense of Adara just staring at this like a little tiny hawk. I love this. Sharif is NVIDIA. No, I'm not. So there we go. Oh my gosh, I think we're going to maybe get it. Okay, I don't know. It's hard because I don't want to take us off the start, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get this breakout right here, right now. How's NVIDIA? You have NVIDIA on your site.
Yeah. I'm just watching
everyone's
it.
looking at it.
I know, right? Yeah, NVIDIA's doing things. Let me know when it breaks, but I've got to check out this for a new view, I believe it was. All right. Oh, no way. Okay, that's pretty cool. It wasn't Anuview, it was somebody else. Bala. Anuview was talking to me about an old Egyptian actor who apparently I resemble. But Bala Perumal. Sorry if I butchered your name. I do apologize. Kraken. I'm going to look at one of the tickers you posted there. So CRKN. Crown, what is it? Crown Electronics or whatever, with a K, which makes me think it's definitely European. Is it? I'll look after. But CRKN, we had a couple of good days here, to be honest with you. I don't know too much about this company, but yeah, you can see on the 16th of May, we had one hell of a day. We got into 52 pennies. That continued in the pre. On the 17th, we got even higher in the 60 pennies. But as you can see, what it's been doing since that time, lower highs with that flat bottom that's hanging out there at 8 pennies or 9 pennies. Interesting. Somebody's buying this at 8 or 9 pennies. Let's go to the not daily, the 5-minute. I gotta tell you, it looks like a dalliance with the 50 on the 5. 50 period exponential on the 5-minute chart. Every time it comes into that 50, it is rejecting. Even the IB high rejected off the 50. It's at the 50 right now. Can it take it? That is a good question. So You know, I don't really have a read on this today. It didn't do a whole lot yesterday, as you can see. It was awfully consolidative. Really started moving there in the aftermarket for whatever reason. Prior to that, it had a bit of a double top at 13 pennies. Yeah, this one's going to have to get above the 50 and close above the 50 for me to be interested as a long. Otherwise, I'd be looking short off the 50. I just want to mention that. And then, guys, this is why I say, you know, follow the trend. I saw you guys yelling short Apple in the chat, and like, you know, it doesn't please me to be like, oh, I was right, you were wrong. But this is a trend trade. Why do you want to stand in front of this thing? Wait till it actually shows you that it's being weak, rather than just being like, hey, I think it's gonna stop here, let me short it. What? All right, anyway, 196.90 HOD. Let it show you weakness before you short. That's what I'm trying to say there. I'd be looking at what it does at the 197 level. That whole dollar level could meet resistance, but I'd need proof. I'd need proof that it's going to hold up there. I'm not just going to put an order there willy-nilly. NVAX, I put my stop like 2 pennies below my entry, so I'm not going to lose anything on this one if it tanks. But yeah, it's really, I'm running out of patience with this one because it's becoming awfully consolidative, and usually that isn't good for these trending names, especially heavily shorted names. So I will be looking to get out of that pretty soon if it breaks.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just staring at Nvidia still. I'm going to be
worries.
really honest. I'd love to say I did anything in that time other than stare at Nvidia. No, but I did get a fill in NVDL, so I'm pleased as punch about that. Got near that high of day. High of day was 67.58, so I said to Derek, try to get out near high of day with part of your position. 67.52 is what I went with initially. I wanted 55s, realized I wasn't going to get that. But I am saving a piece for the dream, and I don't even have to tell you what that dream is. It's Nvidia 1200. So we'll have to see if that dream becomes a reality. What are people looking at? Also, you know what I like, but I'm not going to get involved in because I'm totally focused on nurturing my Nvidia and letting it grow. Look at this meta range. Sharif, this is nuts. Look at this range.
Oh, wow.
But to me, I actually think it might be a short, and I say that because we do have lower highs.
Absolutely.
And if we stable, okay. Actually,
and the flip of resistance to support.
Right?
Look at that. I know, the earlier price action right there.
That's true too.
Yeah.
I saw this because,
that.
they had that little pop in.
It's like a stare.
You're right.
It's like
I'm going to set an order here. Because Meta is a little spready, but the spread is like less than 20 pennies, which for Meta is actually not disgusting. I'm going to go 75. It's going to be a really small position. If we break above that 87s decisively, that's when I'm going to have to be out. But I do like this look. I think I might be a little bit too frugal with this. You know what? Where's this low? We're going to do 50s.
No, not two frugal people on the table. There's already one over here. Let's not make two.
I'm sorry. But yeah, this, happy I wasn't frugal with this NVDL though, because I just kept adding as we kept coiling like a little snake towards that 1200 level in NVDA. Again, we don't have that 1200 break, but I cannot wait until we see it. Yeah, Carrie Weaver says that her eyes are also glued to NVIDIA and she's waiting on her 12. So shout out to you, Carrie. I'm happy I'm not the only NVIDIA addict over here in this NVDA. Let's take a look at GME and see how this is going. Yeah, this GME, I liked this range earlier. I literally sat down and said to Sharif, look at this little consolidation we have in GME. I'm obsessed. And Sharif's like, oh, GameStop, gimme. And I was like, I don't know. But then we made this higher high here into 3050s. We made a higher low at 2960. I think there is something on GME, but it's nothing I'm able to play right now, but we're always keeping an eye on GME. NVIDIA quadruple top says bigly down under. I think because of the higher lows, and I think also because I've been watching the book, I notice sometimes watching the book gives you like a better sense of some of the sentiment sometimes, because you can see lower highs and higher lows in the book as well. The book, we have not really decisively gotten below that 1199 for quite some time. So in my opinion, I know it looks kind of triple toppy, but we do have slightly higher lows. I think we are really consolidating for this breakout. That's what I think, and I know I'm biased because I am an NVDL, but we also know that I panic sell like crazy, so if I didn't feel like we had a breakout here, I definitely would have left a little while ago. I think there is something in the water in NVDA, and that's something, but as I say that, we drop a little bit below that 1199 on the buy side, so we're gonna have to wait and see what we see. But that GME is still pretty spicy. I'm mostly just focusing on my NVDL, and if we bounce off 35s, I'll probably add to this. How are you doing?
Good, good. I took out some out of NVAX for exactly the reason I just articulated. It's becoming awfully consolidative. And that usually is not a good look for these names. So I'm like, all right, you're 25 pennies in the money. Take out some here, de-risk, and if it ends up going your way, fab. If it doesn't, at least you've taken the right precautions. Apple now coming down, so shout out to you guys. I hope you guys waited for that confirmation. 196.50, nice move off that general 197 area. It didn't make it to 197, that's for sure. 196.90, and we wet our beak there in the mid 80s. Where did I get that? Oh, let me just double check real quick. Yeah, all right, we got it in the mid 80s. Good move there. Now, I wanted to mention the weak one on the day, because this one is really kind of getting my attention. Google is awfully weak here. And I'm not really sure what is going on, but we had a whole bunch of topping tail candles into that 176.50. There was definitely a seller in and around that area. Have we been at this area before? And if we did, what did we do? Let's go to the 15. See what's up with this area over here. So this general, yeah, this high 176 area has been a bit of a local top. We topped out there on the 28th. We topped there again at the 29th. So interesting. So we're finding resistance there again today. Google is at low of day as I speak right now. Wowzers, okay. And I looked to see what was going on, if there was anything afoot with goggles, and there really isn't. I saw a couple of earlier headlines. Where is this? Bing gains desktop share. Oh, okay, that's not good. Was this new? Or did you see anything about Bing gaining desktop share?
I did not see that.
Search share? Okay. Bing gains desktop share, but Google reigns supreme as AI search grows, reports the Bank of America. That one came on my blotter at 11:30. I'm looking to see if it came in earlier and I just was unaware of it, and I don't see it here. Because something's afoot here with Google, as you know, the whole market's trending up, and Goggles decided that, yeah, I don't really want to go up. It's time to go down today. A couple of bottoming tail candles here at the 174.50. You know, Google's up 0.5%. I don't mean disrespect it, but definitely the chart pattern here making me feel a little bit differently. Let's see if these bottoming tail candles at 174.50 are indicative of anything, as you know, the buying may start coming in and around here. The closing print on Google yesterday, 173, high 70s, low 80s, can't really tell. But yeah, that's a good look there. All right, Apple coming into the 10 period here on the 5. I'm not going to add to this position. This would be an interesting add at this level to see if it holds up at this 10 period at 196 and a fifth, 196 and a quarter. But I'd rather not. I'm just going to see what it does around here. And if it starts curling back again, maybe we can make a decision at that time. Yep, so I got stopped out of NVAX for the remaining amount there. So my suspicions were correct that this one was curling back down. Still positive on it. Didn't lose anything actually on that last move down because it was a break-even trade. But yeah, that's it. We don't get, you know, that nice big move that I wanted on NVAX, but ends up being positive there. Let's see what else is afoot. Oh, NVVE just started moving, so shout out to Tisha Perkins. Yeah, she just basically, I looked at the chat as I looked at NVV, and Tisha was already messaging. I had the feeling. All right, NVV halted to the upside, guys. $1.43,143, 100 million shares. Let me give you the tap. NVVE. The tap is 148, so 5 pennies above where we closed. I'll just remind you super quick here about NVV and the deets. It is an $8.9 million market cap, almost, you know, 9 million. That's with the latest pump, 100 million shares, as I said. And the float is 4.6 million shares. So definitely on the smaller side. Keep your eye on this one. It's back above the WAP. And if it's back above the WAP, then keep your eye on a breakout trade. Tisha, I hope you took that, because that 115 area.
Missed it.
Ah, Tisha. Yeah, that 115 area was money, but neither I or her were there, because when we looked at it, it was like already at $1.26, which is still 20 pennies from where we are right now. But anyway, shout out to you, Tisha. I hope you print on whatever you're trading there.
Yeah, I mean, I have got to say, Speaking of missing movements, this Meta, I had my order ready too, and it's like I deleted the order because I didn't like, we had a little bit of a bottoming tail candle on the future and also on Meta, so that's why I canceled the order. But this 486.50, this would have been perfect. I just didn't get filled. I must have been like a penny away because I saw we did have that candle nudge into it and we just missed it. So that's all good. Maybe the frugality got to me, but that's okay. Nvidia, we still have the Nvidia and the NVDL pushing higher. I have a dip buy set for high 30s if we just wick back in there and bounce back up. So that's what's happening with Nvidia. Really proud of myself for sticking with this trade. I don't have any reason to leave yet. We're still having bottoming tail candles, so trying to stay confident. Also with Google, Wandering Cat mentioned this in the chat, and this is also on the watch list, which I forgot about, but Google did have another lawsuit situation. There's like kind of an anti-competition type thing happening in London right now. The CAT in London. Yeah. Not dismissing the suit, saying that the suit sells to go forward. It's like 13 billion pounds or something. It's not a small suit. Oh. But yeah, so pretty dicey there. Looks like that Meta short would have worked out, but I'm just gonna have to wait for another point of entry. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna go chasing waterfalls. We don't wanna do that. We don't want any scrubs. Also, GME, or not GME, HPE, sorry for the clickbait there. I'll go to GME in a second now because I feel badly. But HPE, if we keep ranging, I'll go back in this short. But to me, it looks like it formed a little base at 67s. And instead of pushing lower, we actually are trying to break up here. So I'll keep an eye on HPE. It's still on the side chart. Proud of what I did with the short. But now because I accidentally mentioned GME, I do feel obligated to bring up GME. These topping tail, I'm not even joking, I do. These topping tail candles are something else. It's not a head and shoulders, but we're kind of getting a bit of a linebacker pattern here. Oh. We get to that 30, look at that big old juicy shoulder. Then we get a bit of a head coming at 30.50s. Maybe we'll get another shoulder. I might actually try to secure some shorts on GME. Proud of myself, I've only traded 4 names so far today, really just trying to hone in on patterns I really like. That HPE is staying on the side chart, but I don't have any plays right now. Tesla doing something deeply fascinating, but not something I feel comfortable trading right now, especially with that monster Nvidia on watch for me. But this Tesla, look at we're getting to that pre-market level and we're topping and turning. I think we have a breakout here. I really do, but we're also at a little bit of pre-market resistance. I'm gonna keep an eye on Tesla, but right now, the only stock that I have any skin in the game on is gonna be the monster, as Sharif sometimes calls it. The monster. And that is N, that is V, that is D, and that is A. Thank you, Crypto G. I would say I have a pretty vast music library. I like to listen to a lot of different stuff. So yeah, a lot of different genres, and I will always shout out whatever songs I feel like shouting out, because that's what, we like to do here.
And the thing is, she downloads songs, so she's not forced to like listen to music 24 hours a day.
I own them. Yeah, I buy them on iTunes.
Yeah, so you don't have a Spotify. You actually own the individual songs,
I have free Spotify, but I rarely use it.
Yeah. Well, gotcha.
So that's the look on that.
All right, Chase Bands, $2 super chat. Took small positions upwards in Palantir, thoughts. I will look at that in a second, Chase Bands, but I did promise somebody that I would look at Nadir. At AVGO. So Broadcom, widely looked at by analysts as an alternative Nvidia play. Whether that manifests or not, you're gonna have to wait and see. But AVGO, Broadcom having one hell of a day, 5% almost in the clear, 4.92, $1,400 resistance. At the moment, 1,466 HOD. It's been a love affair with the 10 period on the 5. It has not broken the 10 period from the opening bell onwards, okay? So are we due for a 20 period retracement or even deeper one? Possibly, but do you have to get one? No, you don't have to get one. Meta just broke, by the way, in case you're interested, because you were looking at that level. Anyway, so AVGO, great look here. Let's go into the daily and figure out, are these all-time highs? The answer to that is no. So ATH came in, I believe, on this day here, May 16th, when we got into that almost 14.5, $1,445. That's a good look there. Then we come back in. We generally hold that 50 period, but it's been quite consolidative here for AVGO, essentially since March 1st onwards. A little bit above 1,400 and then into 1,200. Definite 1,200 support on AVGO subsequent to March onwards, okay? So that's a good look there. With respect to the intraday trade, my trade would be, I don't want to overcomplicate it. I'd be looking to get in at the 10. I'd look to get in half the position at the 10 because we are extended. We haven't had a deeper retracement below the 10 all day. So my move would be get in half at the 10 and then put in half at the 20. And then, if the 10 runs, you only run with half the position. But I am or I want to see some sort of retracement into the 20 here. 1385 on AVGO. That's where I'd be looking to get the other half. The initial half would be at around 1392 or so, and then about 1385. All right, let's go to that super chat. Palantir. Let's have a look at PLTR. Yeah, Apple's at 196, by the way. So this is that's a big move down from 196.60. That's a dollar move down right now on AAPL. So shout out to the shorts there. I hope you guys waited for confirmation. PLTR. Good look today on Palantir, man. Another dalliance with the 10. I mean, it goes red to green. So initial spike at 945, the IB high takes us to 22 1/3. We go red, and then we go green again. Beautiful hold with that low at 22 1/4. Great hold there. And then since that time, ever since it reclaimed the 10 at 1025, it hasn't broken below it. So same thing goes for this one. Palantir, does Palantir have a headline?
I don't remember seeing a headline on it, no.
Palantir and Meta are the two must-have stock picks. No, these are not Palantir headlines. Here's a 7 a.m. one. Palantir Technologies and Tampa General Hospital announced a significant step forward in their long-term partnership to deliver an ambitious vision for the future of AI healthcare. Yeah, saw light on details on that one, but this one over here, I don't know how big this headline is. It is a headline, okay? It did come in the pre. It came in right at 6:59, 7 a.m. I don't know if this is... Guys, hold on. We got a price target increase. It just hasn't hit Katina Capital has upgraded Palantir. The only thing is, it just hasn't made its way over to Reuters yet. That's why you're not seeing it on the blotter. But we're tongue-in-cheeking it over here, as always. But shout out to the Katina, man. He's going for the walk and talk right now. Or more podcast. Oh, sorry, bro. Yeah, podcast. And, perfect segue. Thank you for that, Katina, man. In case you don't know, we have a new podcast. And then after I do this ad, I'm going to do another ad. Oh, yeah. And here it is. So we're going to go over here. We're going to type in freedom and wealth. And here it is. The Katina Man, the Brendo podcast, baby. This is it. Freedom and wealth. A lot of effort being made with this podcast every day. We'd love for you if you went on over to YouTube, you subscribed, and then, check out the content. Every day, guys are making a huge amount of effort with this podcast and really want to give you the best product, really. That's all it's about there. But let me tell you about this as well. We have a new segment where we put you in charge of what we talk about between 2 and 2:30 every day. You get to decide what we talk about. Get into the chat right now. Enter the prompt, join, and then space and the $, and then type in the ticker of your choice. Apple, Nvidia, whatever you want us to talk about. NVVE, Tisha, if you want to talk about that as well, throw that in there. I'm sure O'Neill will have a look at it for you. And vote for your stock every day. And then we'll have the big kahunas look at it for you, give you their looks, their insights, their technicals. If they traded it, they'll tell you how they traded it, why, what they were looking at. So go have your say in the chat right now, Adair.
Yeah, please do that. Join space, the ticker of your choice. One ticker, though, I think almost always dominates the list. And Sherv knows where I'm going with this.
I do.
No matter what day we have, no matter what's moving, the stash is in the top 3. Or the top.
It isn't a ticker, but
it is not a ticker, but a lot of people really want to chart Shrew's mustache.
Bora Hut is already doing it. Look what there you
go.
The Stash Nation. You guys are undefeated there. Yeah, Sabio wants to talk about Nvidia. Monty G, he wants to talk about the SPY. Vin wants to talk about GME. Go and have your say. It's super simple. I'm just going to hit the short one more time. Join space, $, and the ticker of your choice. Vote now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, you can be a literal stock picker because you can literally pick which stocks we talk about in that show. I don't know, it's kind of a lame pun, but we can. Also, I'm really proud of myself for just chilling with Nvidia. I dislike hanging out in stocks. So we didn't get our 1,200, but I got one of my outs, so I'm pleased as punch there. Basically, I said, I'm like, Adara, you like that the support at 1197.40? I know that's so specific on Nvidia. So if you don't get below there on Nvidia, why the heck would you be leaving NVDL?
Oh.
And you know what? I did not apologize for the language there. It's getting a little bit fresh here. But I didn't leave NVDL because I'm like, Jerry, you have no reason to. I actually added to the position a little bit. Should have added at 30s, but I'm still not that confident. We're growing, we're learning. But yeah, please just punch with this. This is one of the larger positions I've taken since going live. But if you feel confident, and again, I want to be clear, I'm managing it appropriately. I'm not doing anything too crazy. There is not a bankruptable amount of shares here. It's really just about having levels that you're confident in and committing to those levels because you do owe it to yourself if there are things you like. If we get back to mid 30s, I'll add again. I have no problem with that. As long as we keep bouncing off 1197 90s, 1197.40, sorry, that's the level I like. I have no reason. But I mean, also NVIDIA, if you would love, I really want to see you shine. I'm happy for you. What else do we have here? This meta, I wanted to take this long here when we got to the bottom of that the top of that pre-market resistance. And then I just wasn't able to get in. Plus, I am babysitting kind of a monster over there, so I didn't want to have to deal with two wild children. One that is so expensive, the other one that has just the worst spread in the world. But this meta, if we reject again, because support and resistance can flip. If we reject off that 485, 50s, I have no qualms about going short here, and I think it might actually give me that opportunity. Ahmed Awala, AED, $10 super chat, thank you so much, saying just short TQQ. Yes, it's wrong, but I did it. Okay, let me look at the TQQs. That's such a bamboozling super chat. I kind of see, so we do have the bottoming tail candle here, but I see what you mean, Ahmed. We haven't had a higher low in quite some time. We haven't had a higher high or a higher low in a little bit. I kind of see what you're seeing. I get why it also could be a bit of an eyebrow raising trade, so I like that you put that in there as well. But I think if we kind of continue to reject off this chop and churn area of the 63, around 66.40s, I don't think that's a bad look at all. And thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, shout out to you. I don't have much to say on this. Clearly, you're confident in the trade. I do think this bottoming tail candle does show a little bit of strength, but it is doing this pattern I generally think goes a little bit to the downside where you have a little bit of a slump and then we consolidate. So shout out to you. Best of luck, as Sharif always says to me. I do hope you print.
Absolutely.
HPE still ranging, so I still have eyes on this, but I don't have any play on it right now, so I don't want to force myself into that. This meta short, though, that's going to be the belle of the ball for me personally. We're going to be trying to get in a really small position, 485.19s. I don't think that's too frugal. Let's see what we go. But what we're always ready for? Is Neil and his lesson of the day.
Welcome to another lesson of the day. And life is all about choices, right? So, you choose what to eat, who you want to have friends, what's the best YouTube show to watch every single day, Trader TV Live, and when you're trading, what stocks to trade, what opportunities you want to have. So, a situation could come up, and you probably understand where I'm going to go with this. Everybody and their mother could say, oh my goodness, Nvidia 1200, this is the trade. I want that trade. This is going to be the breakout of all time. And then you kind of deal with what we're dealing with for the last hour and a half, where we're basically at the 1200 without breaking for quite some time. And I think what'll end up happening is if you're locked and laser focused on, hey, I'm going to take this break, I'm going to take this break, it's not so much that there's other opportunities that you're missing out on. That's an opportunity cost. It's just that you might be blind to other ways that you could be playing this. And there was a hot minute where I actually think I had the idea right, which was when it wouldn't even get to, on the big parabolic move to the upside, it wouldn't even get to 1200. And I kind of shifted to saying, oh, let me just take this breakout and hold into the 1200 level. I still managed to turn that into a scalp trade where I didn't end up holding, thinking, oh man, you just rejected 1200, let's get out. I even shorted Micron, can you believe it or not? And then Micron continued to go higher. So I compounded that by turning a flattish trade on Nvidia into also losing on Micron in that moment. So whether or not this stock breaks, all of this time, you're missing out on potential other opportunities. Now I have another level, just so you guys know, I have another level 2 up, and I have other charts up for Nvidia, so I can switch over and still be staring at this, because believe me, I will be, because I am going to still take the long break. But while all of this was happening on Nvidia, it was rightfully pointed out to me in the chat, and I was actually screaming about this, oh, it's at the $1,200 level, don't do it when I want to switch live. It just got to 99 on the offer. You see what I'm saying? Sorry. It wasn't $1199.99. It actually just hit $1,200 without breaking. And I turned to Sean at one point and said, if it so much as sees 12 on the offer, it's going to break out. It saw 12 on the offer and it still didn't break out. So now I'm going right back over to Google so we can continue the lesson. No, but it was pointed out to me in the chat that there were other opportunities out there. I was screaming, what is weak? Because I tried shorting Micron when Nvidia wouldn't take out those highs. And then what happened is several viewers pointed out the relative weakness more than once, and you don't have to spam the chat, but I'm glad you did it, that Alphabet was a weak stock. So as the market's careening higher and higher and higher, and there's your trend up, this entire time here, while everything's at resistance and enjoying this rally, here's a stock that was under VWAP and double topping on a lower high. And there was an opportunity to grab it on the way while waiting around for Nvidia to do whatever it did. Now, if Nvidia had broken in the moment, it probably drags everything higher, Google breaks out, but it didn't. It's like, okay, scalp. Once it broke this support level, I was like, I'm just getting off the bid. This is ridiculous. And it ended up falling. When it got to 174, I'm going to quickly show you what happened in Nvidia here. When it got to 174, this wick happened in Nvidia, and then Google, I'm like, we're just going to trail it. It's the even dollar. It's the pre-market low. And that was the opportunity in Google, right into the low of the day. And all you had to do is be willing to look elsewhere. It's fine to be glued to a stock, but if you just sit out like an hour of the day as an active trader and aren't at least scanning for other ideas, you're going to be down on the wayside. I know some traders were trading that ASNS here on the floor while that was going. That's lots of halts and lots of opportunities. Another thing is during that market move to the upside, when Nvidia was stalling, look at Apple in here. Like, look at the setup on Apple that exact same time that Nvidia was lulling everybody to sleep. There is the afternoon high. Important price, 195.25. There's it, higher lows into that high, lulling you into a self-sense of relief. And then when it breaks VWAP, boom. Consolidates above the lower high, breaks and continues to go. You even had a pullback off of 197. So I don't mind waiting around for that big trade. But there are going to be other opportunities in the market. The advantage here at Real Trading or for active traders is you can have multiple charts up, multiple screens up. So while you sit there, ready for a potential break. I mean, I know where my stop is going to go. It's ready. All I have to do is hit enter on it. You can be looking for other things. You know, you don't always want to put all of your eggs into one basket if it can be avoided. That said, we're even at a point in the day now where it's after 12 o'clock. I've lowered my size on this break twice because I don't like it as much at 12 o'clock. And that's just something historically for me. It's just never been as good. So I've already lowered my size twice, but we've been able to be up more at the beginning of this mess than we are now, and that's because we went somewhere else. And you got to be able to do that. The other thing which I want to credit Adara for is she was buying dips on this. Look at what buying the dips has done on this chart. It's still higher lows. If you were buying dips 96, 97, 95, 96, and then 97. Wait for the curl, and then you're profitable going into this breakout. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more opportunities out there in the market. I get it, Nvidia is the belle of the ball and all that good stuff, but you've got to be willing to scan for other opportunities throughout the trading day because you don't know where they might be. And if you let that go to the wayside, then you're missing opportunities, and traders cannot afford to miss opportunities because the market's here for you every single day. That's your lesson of the day, and naturally, I'm going to get through it without Nvidia making the break. I don't mind waiting for it. I've been waiting for this trade all session long, but it doesn't mean we weren't able to take some Google. Probably should have also been in some Apple. Always have your head on a swivel because the market's, it's moving somewhere. Even if this isn't going anywhere on Nvidia right now, something's moving and something's tradable, and you should never stop looking. Good luck, everybody.
Did you flip your mic right side up?
Oh, someone's saucy.
Very. I love Refrain. All right. Thank you very much, Neil. Informative, eloquent, and awesome as always. Neil Roberts dropping hot lines on his lesson of the day every day around noon. Make sure you're catching that every day. Neil Roberts, thank you. All right, guys. We did some stuff here while Neil was doing his lesson of the day. We did actually print 1,200 HOD. We printed a couple times here. The first one at 8 after the hour, the second one at 11 after the hour, but there's no print above it. It is 1,200 on the dot. We're still at that 11.99 and change, sometimes 11.98 and change, all accumulating for that 1,200 break. you know, I'm not going to take this. It's just not my cup of tea, but I do see these higher lows. So you feel like the buyers are stepping up incrementally here, pushing it a little bit closer to that 1200 break. We'll have to see how the algos trade this and what they've got set up and in store for us here on the name. Guys, I want to mention that Palantir looks awfully good. So shout out to whoever mentioned that to me, because it's still continuing to hold that 10 period. So if you did anything around that 10 period, you're in the money. I've been still waiting for a possible 20 period retracement or a price action retracement here into the IB high at 22 and 2/3. It hasn't given you any of that. It's up 3% on the day. So great look today for PLTR. The trade that I've been in all day and all morning is AAPL. I'm just going to pack my patience with this one. It's finding support at 196, so nothing for me to do there. The other trades, though, that I'm keeping my eye on that I feel like are doing something a bit different than the other ones here is Meta. Meta and Goggles, and I'll get to Goggles in a second, but I did like this beautiful hold of this technical area at 484. That was the pre-market high. You had a couple of hammer candles show up there. That doesn't mean Meta's going to curl back up, because as you can see, we're still rejecting on the off the 10 to the downside on META. So it's still finding that, you know, level of resistance, even if that hammer candle came in because buyers were waiting at 484 and change. We'll see if this one can break down or break above that level and give us something to work with. The other one, GOOGL, also marginally positive, up 1/3%, almost 1/4% on the day. But you can see that V-shaped retracement off that 176 and 2/3 rejection. It bounced right now off 174, so comes right back into kind of that IB low general area. And remember, when we did the week on the implied balance high and low, we said that they were zones, not price targets. So always look at it as a general zone. But it did end up holding up there. It didn't print in a low. It held up at yesterday's closing print, which was 173.79. Printing in the 174.30s at the moment. Let's keep an eye on Goggles. I've got no trades at the moment on anything, whether big caps or the small caps, but CrowdStrike is making a move here. It's making a serious move off the low. The low printed 316.39. It is now above 334. So great recovery by CRWD after reels from yesterday's earnings. Look at that big drop. Oh. My goodness, yesterday there. That wicked everybody who was waiting probably there for what is that called? What is the type of trade called when you straddle it from the top and the bottom?
Oh, the butterfly? No.
Yeah, you would have been wicked. You would have been stopped out for sure there, getting short possibly, and then, yeah, so that's a look there. Big Cal, if you look at the 15 on Nvidia, sure looks like it's going to roll over to me. Let's see what Big Cal is talking about on the monster Nvidia. Pull this up. I got it on the 15. I got on the 5. Let's load up the 15. Yeah, definite top there, Kyle. I see what you're saying. Maybe it looks like a rounded top that's coming into effect. I see what you're saying there, kind of with the incrementally lower highs. We don't exactly have lower lows on this candle, but we did get it on that one. So if this ends up being a rounded top, Kyle, off 1200, I'm sure you will be taking that. The Perma Bear, Big Kyle Burdette. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I do kind of see what Big Kyle's saying there, but I honestly just add a little bit because I'm playing this more as a scalp. I've been scalping this out throughout the day. You know what I mean? Like, and so for me, if we get another kind of almost pop near that 11.99s, I'll be able to get some out here. I know this might look like a really weird trade, but I think you have to sometimes trade more than PNL. You have to trade progress and learning. You have to trade stuff you like. I love this look, and I'm really happy with how I've executed it so far. So that's why I felt comfortable adding in. Like I said, thank you, I appreciate that. The level for me for Nvidia is at 11.9740s. If we can't hold that, I'm out. But so far we've been able to, and that's why I stayed in. I just want to clarify. Also, that 11.9740 is the level we bounced off a couple times in the book. That's why I stayed in that. Meta, I took short because I liked. Initially, I did want that. I was really nervous to take the short because initially I wanted that other short of that pre-market, or this, not pre-market, just this resistance support flip at 486. 30s, wasn't able to get involved in that, but I got short again here. I think if we stay below 486, which is this pop-up that we had earlier here, I'm comfortable staying in this. Don't know if this is going to be a profitable trade, but like I said, sometimes you do have to trade based on ideas that you like and commitment to said ideas. Nvidia, keep up here there. Much appreciated. Thank you. Sincerely, Adara. I'm not adding any more to this, but I am going to continue scalping out with what I have. I do not want to panic sell. I have no reason to panic sell. So again, like I think the mental aspect of trading, I've said this a million times and I will say it again. That to me has been the hardest part since going live, just having that mental in check. And I think, you know, not getting lost in the sauce, as Obi says. So that's what I'm really trying to do here. This meta, I don't know if this would necessarily go as planned. I'm weirdly more stressed out about the meta than the Nvidia, which is hilarious, but good times, breathing, living life. Christopher Holcomb making an interesting point. Rounded tops work a whole lot better when the top isn't the all-time high. And that's an interesting point. I mean, Nvidia could still round top. You know what I mean? That's still very much something we could do, but I see what you mean. I think the rounded top, when you think about it with the fact that this is at all-time highs, and also we haven't really had lower highs here, at least in the 5-minute. I do like what you have to say there, Christopher Holcomb, and not just because I'm long Nvidia, but because I think it's an interesting point. Meta here, I'm gonna have to leave though. Meta, you were nice while you lasted. It was stressful, but I'm still happy I took the trade.
Nice.
I am out of the money on that, basically flat on the day so far. But again, like you miss, to quote Wayne Gretzky, you do miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And so, you know, I'd rather regret getting involved in a trade, but still executing appropriately than not getting involved in a trade that I would have liked. So
Agree 100%.
There you go. I'm gonna stop, you know, going on and making weird rants. Good times.
I don't think anything was weird about that.
Thank you. I just feel kind of ranty.
Yeah.
Nvidia does this to you, Sharif. When I say you, I mean me. SPY. Ooh, okay, the SPY. I love this look on the SPY. Look at, we're below the 90 MA. That previous.
Ooh.
Okay, I want to deal with Nvidia before I deal with this, but once I deal with Nvidia, SPY,
Okay.
you're next.
All right.
That sounds like a threat, but SPY, you're next. How are you doing?
I'm good. I put in a dip trade now at 75s, 20.75 to be exact for NVAX. I'm looking for a WAP hold here, a VWAP hold. Look, this is by no means guaranteed, especially with the type of stock that this is, which is a heavily shorted name. It could do whatever. So I'm looking for a VWAP hold. I'm gonna give it about 25 pennies. If I do get triggered at 75, I will give it to the $0.50 and see what happens. Pseudo double top here, you could make the argument for that, 22 bucks. You have the initial 22 touch at 10.40, then you have a double top over here, 11.20, 11.25. Couldn't break through that 22 bucks, and then you saw what happened there. Incrementally lower lows and lower highs. That's what precipitated me to get stopped out, break even at that 21.25. Now, I'm looking to get back in over here at VWAP if it triggers, and it's gonna have to hold at least 25 pennies and not break 50s, because I won't take this south of 50. So there it is. Now, the other one that I don't know how to weasel into is CrowdStrike. It is absolutely recovering to the high side here. 10%, we're knocking the door, 9.84. I know it was up higher, but look at that epic move down there at the opening print. In fact, it started trending down at around 8.30, and it didn't stop until this came over here at 9.50. Since that time, it has been one succession after another of higher lows and higher highs, and now we're getting into, you know, these, let's call it the pre-market middle of the M of the double top, like this 339 area. I don't have a good read on this, quite frankly. I don't see definable highs and lows in any of the looks over here. Let's flip to the 15. Maybe it gives me a bit of a better look. Yeah, it's really going to be that 343, 342 and a half. I mean, that's going to be your resistance level. But do you make it all the way up there? You know, I don't know. So I like the way it's looking. I just don't know how to trade it. Put it that way, okay? I'm not good enough to trade it. So I'm gonna continue to watch until I can see something here that I possibly like. Long NVAX. All right, so now we're long the VAX at this level. So we're gonna go ahead and put in the stop. The stop is already in play. It's gonna have to hold up above 50 cents. Otherwise, we're gone Zeno. We're already out of the money. 5 pennies as it comes down into 69s. But I was front running VWAP. VWAP was not at 75s. VWAP's at 69 on my chart anyway. So let's go ahead and put a couple of beak wetters if we're able to over here to de-risk. I'm gonna sit at 85, and then I'm gonna sit at 95 to wet my beak if it does make it up there, and then we can talk about what happens from there. But I'm looking at VWAP here to hold up for NVAX. If it doesn't hold up, 2050 line in said sand.
I like that. Yeah, right now, this NVDL still chilling in this, basically flat on this position. I have beak wetters set to use a stream for some. The beak will be wet. I have, honestly, the largest position I've had since going live. Again, this is not like an irresponsible size, and it really did come from just adding, as you know, as Neil said, like the whole concept of buying the dip, that certainly was something that I tried to do in this NVDL, and I did so responsibly. I was taking out as I go as well. But this is a larger position, and again, as long as we stay above that 67.25, or more appropriately in NVDA, as long as we stay above 11.97.40s, then I'm comfortable staying in this trade. But you know what else I'm very comfortable doing is thanking our sponsor at Vantage Point.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Vantage Point. Let's see what point of view we have here. Vantage Point software created by world-renowned trading software pioneer Louis B. Mendelson. Vantage Point forecasts stocks, futures, Forex, and ETFs with a remarkable proven accuracy of up to 87.4%. Using AI, Vantage Point's patented neural network processes predict changes in the market trend 1 to 3 days in advance. Scan that QR code to learn more. Thank you very much to Vantage Point. I'm not going to say thank you very much to Nvidia because there's nothing to thank you for. But thank you to Vantage Point, our lovely sponsor. What's everyone else looking at? Oh yeah, I'm so happy you got on a Meta where I did because Meta broke up. But I mean, Meta, if you want to reject here, that could be a short opportunity for me. Also, your apple is. That was a nice spicy apple that you got there. That one.
Yeah, I literally have top wick on that.
That's a great trade.
I feel like it's going to break down. It's accumulating at 196 for a flat bottom break, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't really bother me at this point. I'm not adding here in my personal account, nor am I going to add in the trade. But yeah, I feel like it's accumulating there. Lower highs with a flat bottom at 196. That's kind of how I see Apple at this point. Are you kidding me, NVAX? Are you kidding me, bro? It stops me out, and then it pops right back up. Are you serious right now? All right, we're going to have to see if this holds up here or if this was just a specialist breakdown to force me out. We'll have to see if it ends up continuing to trend up. But I just got forced out of NVAX, lost 25 pennies on that. It broke the $0.50, and that stopped me out, and then it popped right back into 80. I'm not saying it's going to continue to rise up here, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. If it starts trending up, then it was a perfunctory break of VWAP, and we'll get back in, and we'll stop complaining about it. We'll have to see there. Pretty Panda, GME waking up. If 32 level is going to go, then God have mercy on the shorts. Absolutely, my man. Let's see. We know what can happen to the shorts on GameStop. Seen there, been there, done that. Here it is, Ram 30.75 HOD. We just printed right now on this candle at 12.20. We printed 30.68. So a cool 7 pennies off that HOD, that IB high that we put in at 10.10. Great look off the 20 here. That was really the only touch it had at the 20. I'm hesitant to say that it really respected the 10, excuse me, on the 5. And the reason I'm hesitant to say that is because there was some respect over here, but then you have over here where it just became consolidative and the 10 became nothing. So I'm less inclined to want to base anything off the moving averages on GameStop. At least that's kind of how I feel about this level. So we'll continue to watch that to see what we get. But yeah, GameStop up a cool, I think it's like 13% or something like that. Let me just double check real quick. My memes, there it is. Yeah, 14 and 2/3%. AMC up 5.5%, so not a bad look for either one. Let's have a look. There goes flat bottom break on Apple. I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. Apple.
You just said Apple.
I did it again. 196 flat bottom break. Let's see if this level ends up holding over here because we had topping tail candles at 195.80. So the support wasn't at 196, but you just kind of knew that was setting up lower high. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower high, lower high, and then that 196 flat bottom break. We'll see if it continues to hold. It was bouncing off the 20 here too, but I was like, look, it's more a 196 level than it really is a 20. So packing my patience. Let's see if Apple can get its footing under it. You know what does have its footing under it though? MSFT. Wow, this one's having a good day. It's been a tough, let's call it, a week or two for Microsoft. Let's go to the 15. and look here at the trend on Softy. As you can see, essentially from the 29th onward, it was lower highs and lower lows. We bottomed out on the 31st, awfully consolidative these last 2 days. Today, though, we're breaking out through that consolidation level at that 418, and we're printing new local highs, 422. Softy could be an interesting swing here to get back into local highs. That's really interesting. So if we're printing 421 here and you had a reasonable target of 430, even maybe a bit higher too, 432 or generally in that area, that's very interesting. Softy putting a bit of a rounded bottom on the 15 and moving right back into the top. Good look for today anyway on MSFT. What else is moving here? Amazon's at day highs. Okay, so Amazon just printed day highs as well. Yeah, Goggles is doing nothing. And yeah, Nvidia is very much consolidating at that 1200 a day.
But Nvidia is, in fact, trying to make these higher highs. I know I sound like, you know, like a little Nvidia nerd, Nvidia bull over here, but seriously, we did push back into 6750s. We rejected it again, but we are continuing to push higher. I'm staying in this for the time being. I also got involved in Google. Because one thing that Neil said as well, and I want to shout out Neil's lesson of the day, is I learned so much from just being able to sit here and listen to them, and you can catch them, as Sharif says, at the noon hour, usually around there. But what Neil had to say in his lesson of the day was you don't want to, just because you're looking at one thing, NVIDIA breaking new highs, doesn't mean you should be missing other opportunities. And so that's why I've been trying to keep an eye on all the charts and not just the one that really has my heart today, which is NVDL. So Google, I was like, hey, I showed it to Sharif for mentioning all day we had this Google weakness. Google had this gorgeous topping tail candle into 174.70. I said, Adara, if not now, when? So we're going to get out 2/3 of the position here because I'm nothing if not scalpy, and I just want some profit over here. I'm not even going to lie. Yeah, I'll take 10 pennies. I was risking into 60s, and I say 60s, not the topping tail candle, because I want to see that pre-market area. I was risking into 174.60s. So, I mean, I'll take 10 pennies, I'm fine with that. I don't know if we'll get those. The other reason I want to get out here is not a panic sell, but because I noticed we actually do kind of have higher lows from where we made that bottom. So I want to be cognizant of the fact that we could be curling back up. That is my plan on Google. Hopefully I don't have to search too hard for someone to buy at this level, because I don't want that. But yeah, we're gonna keep a third of this position in, because for, you know, what's life without whimsy? I was trying to think of the right saying, and I landed on that. Lapord. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say the name right. Mentioning VKTX, which is we know I used to trade a lot of these GLP-1 names and these weight loss related names. VKTX has been on the move lately. I love this stock. I love this look right now. Yeah, I know this one has some crazy price targets are Lapord. That is certainly for sure. I mean, right now, nice look on the day. Actually not bad volume either. 2.326 million shares, so not bad at all. Continuing to the high side, not one that I have any reads on, but let's take a look at the daily chart on this, because I do appreciate you bringing up this name. I looked at this, you know, because I was like trying to look at things that are not, you know, my nemesis Nvidia. And so right now we are below the 9 EMA. We are in a little bit of a downturn on VKTX, but the other way you can look at this is we sort of have a bull flag. We dipped a little bit below that bull flag, mind you, with these lower highs and a bit of a flat bottom break at 63. But I would say if we can peek our heads back above that 63, that's maybe not a bad look for VKTX. Hopefully that Viking can continue to sail the seas of profitability. And shout out to you for mentioning that one. Jay Lee apparently wanting to short Nvidia at the top, which is, yeah, I mean, you have to trade how you have to trade. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to have their own read on things. I'm not going to comment on that, just because I think as long as you have appropriate risk management, who am I to comment on someone's trades? You know what I mean? So I think whatever you have to do, right? I think with Nvidia, you have clearly had these lower highs, but we've had higher lows as well. I'm still in the long. I have no reason to leave the long, which is why I'm staying, though I have taken some profit, and I've reduced the position by half from its largest size. So you just have to do what you have to do, and you have to commit to whatever you feel confident to do. Also, I did get out of, like I said, most of that Google. I would love a push below 30s, and if we get that, I'll be pleased as punch.
All right, guys, just want to remind you to vote every day. You can vote right now. Go into the chat, type in !, join, space, $, go and vote for your favorite stock that you want Neil and Sean to cover on the afternoon rundown. If you want to talk about the small cap gappers, NVVE, go throw that in there. How about ASNS, 700 some odd % multiple halter? Neil will give you his look there. How about Taiwan Semi? How about CrowdStrike? Throw it all in there. Have your say right now in the chat. Cutoff, I believe, is at 1:50 p.m., but who knows? Did it freeze, remember? No, it was good. All right, let's get to the lesson of the day today, baby, because we're talking about the short squeeze and all these short-related names. Today specifically, we're going to talk about fading these heavily shorted names, these memes, or whatever you want to call them, into the afternoon. So this lesson dives into fading the afternoon strength for meme stocks and heavily shorted names. We'll explore how to potentially capitalize on price pullbacks that sometimes occur after the initial hype of the day. So the memes can be an absolute roller coaster. We already know that. These meme stocks are often fueled, by social media buzz and retailer investor excitement. They can experience explosive intraday price jumps. However, this excitement sadly does not always last. The afternoon fade, so to speak, describes the potential for a price decline later in the trading day as the initial buying pressure subsides. Okay, so how do we tame the afternoon fade? So fading the afternoon strength in meme stocks and these heavily shorted name often involves shorting the stock after its morning surge, aiming to profit if the price dips later in the day. While inherently risky, the strategy can be lucrative if executed correctly. So one of the ways we're going to show you today, or one of the methods to actually short the afternoon fade, is the RSI reversal short. So here's a strategy for fading the afternoon strength. First thing we're going to do, identify a name that is moving up that's heavily shorted, or a meme stock. GameStop's moving up 13%. There's some others as well. I think AMC's up 5 and change. I think Faraday Futures is making a move too. No, it's down 1 2/3. So that's your look there. So you're going to look for meme stock experiencing a significant price increase in the pre-market or in the early trading session. And then step 2, you're going to monitor the RSI, the relative strength index. If you don't know what it is, it's a technical indicator that measures how overbought or oversold a stock is. Then number 3, you're going to wait for the RSI to overshoot. So you're going to wait for your signal, essentially. And here, you're looking for the RSI to basically reach overbought territory. You want to see a print above that 70-ish, okay? That typically is what is considered overbought for the RSI. And then the afternoon fade comes in. This is going to be your entry signal. So here, if the price starts to pull back slightly after reaching its intraday high, and the RSI remains above 70, this could be a sign for a potential afternoon fade. So all that you're looking here to do is look for divergence between the RSI and the price. So if we continue to get higher highs on the price, but then you start getting lower highs on the RSI, that's price action RSI divergence. Conversely, you could get higher RSI prints and lower highs on the price action. Again, that's also RSI divergence. Look for one of those combinations, and then that will be your entry signal. So step 5 will be your short entry as well as your stop loss, of course. So you're going to place a short sell order on the meme or on the heavily shorted name after the price pullback and the RSI confirmation. Simultaneously, you want to throw in your stop as well. You're going to place it above the intraday high to limit your potential losses if the stock continues to move up and there's no afternoon fade. All right, so that is basically the type of trade we're talking about today. Many different ways to fade the afternoon. The one we've chosen to show you today is the RSI reversal. And remember, guys, the afternoon fade is by no means guaranteed. Meme stocks can be highly volatile, and the price might continue to climb despite the RSI being in overbought territory. And quick exit is key here. If the price starts to rise again after you short the stock, exit the trade quickly to minimize your losses, respect your stops, honor those levels. I think you'll thank yourself for it. And risk management is absolutely crucial here. Shorting involves significant risk, as you can lose more than your initial investment. Theoretically, of course, you're liable for unlimited losses. Practically a different story, though. But regardless, only allocate a small portion of your capital to this style of trade because of the inherent risk. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. And that is a situation there. Before I send it back to Adara, I want to mention that I put a breakout trade on NVAX. I'm cruising for a bruising over here because I feel like this break below VWAP was kind of bamboozling, and we ended up holding at the 50 quite well on the 5. This is what I'm looking at on my side chart over here. So I put a long through the break of 80s or 82s. So if we continue here, I don't know exactly how I feel about this trade. I'm going to give it the old college try, so to speak. 2083, I also see a double bottom over here from 11 to 1105. That could be a local area of resistance, previously support. So if we break up into that level, I definitely want to see if we close above these levels over here, just to kind of confirm that the move is legit. NVVE, Tisha, is coming down below the volume weighted average price again. That looks like one hell of a double top there at $1.75. Wow, NVVE. I'd look for a break below that 110, 112 area to complete the double top and possibly take it down. But alas, you know what happened there last time? We did find support because of that pre-market high right at those levels. So we'll see if it ranges or if it breaks down below said level. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's flip back into the big cappers. Apple doing the most over here, right back above 196, coming into that $0.25 area. I'm packing my patience with that. Meta, jeez, Meta on the way up again, breaking through VWAP. However, lower highs though. Okay, so we still haven't changed that 491.88 top. If you don't even have to look at that. You could look at the 490 top over here because that was the closing print. And then we print another lower high at 488 and 2/3. And now we're printing 487 and 2/3, a little bit above 2/3. I'd say let's get above this area over here to complete the breakout. Otherwise, we're still with lower highs. Adara.
Yeah, I mean, this Nvidia, I don't even know how I feel about Nvidia. I have no reason to leave, like I said, but also, you know, it's like when you're like, I don't know if I have a reason to stay. I feel like I'm in like a Nicholas Sparks novel over here. Never mind, I was rewatching
What's going on?
I Walk to Remember this weekend, and I mean, man, what a movie. But yeah, so this NVDL has me feeling like the couple in that movie, very emotional for no reason. No, I'm joking. I honestly don't feel emotional in this trade. I just wanted to do something.
Pamp it.
I apologize for all of the weird rambling there, but you know, we're in Nvidia. We're NVIDIA. We're watching it. You know I'm stuck in this trade when I can't even pun. I forgot to say Nvidia. But yeah, this Apple, lower highs on this. Sure, if you're like $1 in the money, I was gonna say I feel badly short, but I'm sure if you're like $1 in the money, he does not mind if I short this Apple.
No, you do your thing, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do your thing, 21. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait a little bit to short Apple, but I do want to talk about my Google short. So initially I got out 2/3 of this position. Then I was gonna panic sell when we got above 50s. I said, Dara, wait till you get to 60s and maybe add. So I did add. That was what happened there in Google. Google, I'll continue to short these 90 EMA rejections. I have no qualms about that. I am okay with that look. But GME 31 reject. Let's take a look at GME and AMC because we did just have that lesson there. So why not? See, to me, GME, we did reject that 31. I want to see what we do here at this 30-40, because that could be a higher high situation. I'm already involved in one deeply stressful stock. I don't want to hop into GME all willy-nilly, but I'm going to keep my eye on GME because I think this could be an interesting little 9 EMA bounce potentially. AMC, another one that we could take a look at here. AMC, whew. AMC coming right back in, but I want to see what we do with this little pop that we had right in the open. We popped into 516s. Could we bounce at 516s? AMC, let's find out what we AMC on AMC. What else is going on here? I know some people talking about Nvidia potentially being Nvidia is not in the NY, Dara. You should know this. You've been looking at it all darn day. But yeah, Nvidia, Nvidia does have that rounded top. We are starting to get these topping tail candles. So Nvidia, I think, could be interesting. And honestly, I do hope everybody prints in some way. I think there are certainly some scalp opportunities on this one as well. That's mostly how I've been playing this long. I'm still staying in because I do want that flat top break. But I mean, if I can't get that, I'll take this out at 45s on the NVDL, and I'm not going to have any qualms about that. Tesla continuing to drip to the downside here. Lower highs, lower lows, kind of looking like what we're seeing on Google, but Google much weaker on the day than TSLA, which had this gorgeous rejection, sort of a V-shaped retracement like what we had with Nvidia or with Nike yesterday, except, actually, let's look at Nike today. But Nike I found a little bit stronger here with that retracement than Tesla, which gave us that move up, and then immediately started curling back down. Nike, how are you doing? You're running to the upside, running to the downside. Right now, Nike actually kind of doing something interesting. I don't know why I pulled this one up, but I like that we came into that area of chop and churn. We are rejecting off that 80, this 94.40. That could be interesting. But speaking of athletic wear names, I want to look at Lulu because Lulu's reporting tonight.
Oh.
Let's hopefully,
What's your call on that?
Mike, Lulu's been so weak lately.
It has.
So I don't know. I know Lulu's opening some new stores. I have a friend who works at Lulu, not at the corporate level, guys. Don't worry, it's nothing sketchy. She's like works in the store, and so
inside info.
I literally have nothing, but I know they're opening new stores because she's working at one of the new stores. That's the extent to which I know that. I mean, to me, Lulu's weak. Lulu's running away from longs, unfortunately. I think, and I think I might have mentioned this in a super chat last week as well. I think if we hold this 303, that could be really interesting.
I like that.
I don't know if we will. Then I think if we stay above 335, I like. What's your call in Lulu? Because you asked me and now I'm.
You know what, Adira, it's a bit of a tough call. I'm gonna have to say they've just been beat up so much that they're maybe kind of due for a bounce. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if it's their environment right now. The consumer has like all-time high in terms of credit card debt. They're definitely not cheap, right? So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's so discretionary. Do you really need like your gym clothes of that kind of price? I mean, I kind of go to I get a lot of Nike stuff, but I never get them from the Nike store. I get them from like TJ, the equivalent of TJ Maxx, which is called Winners here, right? So that's I know.
Go Winners.
We're all about that life over here.
Both of us are always
We're all
Winners.
about that life, right? All right, I'm back in, as you can see there on the position board on NVAX, a couple of beak wetters already, looking for the third right up at 2120. I feel this bamboozled me a little bit. I earmarked VWAP for the hold. It didn't come into VWAP. It came into 50 period on the 5. That's not an area I had earmarked, so I'm not disappointed in myself for having been bamboozled there. But what I do like is it's right back into that 21-ish area, because I was worried that this area over here would act as a local level of resistance, seeing as how it acted as support. But it looks as if maybe that's not happening quite yet. I'm looking for NVAX to pamp back up into near high days. We'll see if we get that print. I'm waiting at that 20s. The dead one back lower again on that 196.25 pop. So this one continuing with the lower highs with the flat bottom. That 196 though, kind of a general area of support. I mean, you did get 10 minutes of below that area over here at 1225 and 1230. I'm not gonna add, did I add to my Apple position? Hold on, because I had an area that I want to add and I put it. Let's see if it got triggered. No, it didn't. So I was looking for that 77s owing to this area over here. So I was looking at these tops during the morning. I'm like, okay, my frugality got me in trouble again, because if I had put it up at 82s, I would have got printed. I put it at 77s. I thought it was a lucky number. But I guess that doesn't work out like that, Adair. Sorry, sadly. All right, yeah, I know it doesn't. Now, what is making moves here and what seems to be awfully calm, you want to talk about something?
No, I'm just gasping at Nvidia. I have nothing to say.
No problem.
Sorry.
Well, it seems to be awfully calm after having one hell of a tough day is the Zon. Look at that double bottom at 179 on Amazon. Since that time, since we executed the last side of the double bottom at 1015, it has been an higher low and higher high dance with the 10 period on the 5 on AMZN, 181 and a third HOD. You're printing 16s right now, but it has not broken the 10 period on a closing basis, essentially since retaking it here at 1020. So great look for Amazon as it recovers clear in the clear right now, 1% to the high side. So look out for, I don't know, a whole dollar rejection. Meta, surprise, surprise. We get a rejection of that upper trend line. So that lower high kind of trend staying intact here, that 490 rejection, then a 489 rejection. Now we're talking about a 488 rejection, incrementally lower highs with similar bottom over here, this 485 that we topped out in the pre. But the soft one is really the strongest name right now. Earlier it was Apple, now it's a soft one. 422, essentially 50 HOD. It's at high of day right now, 7 pennies off the high of day. Microsoft has been awfully strong. Up and to the right it goes all morning long, kind of the inverse of Google. Nvidia still hasn't broken 12,000. We can look at it. It's printing
12,000.
Sorry, 1,200. Yeah, can you imagine? Maybe not that long away. Yeah, it'll be like what? Give it a week, says Neil. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there. Accumulating at 1,200, guys. No break yet of the level, but it's actually hit 1,200 on Z-Dot. I don't know.
Yeah, ScarJoe Rabbit saying, have you guys mentioned the markets at record high? Honestly, did not even, are they at record high? Are we at record high in the markets? I didn't even realize that.
There's so many different types of markets.
Yeah,
we can
so
look at
there's
the
so much
future.
to look at here, ScarJoe Rabbit. I apologize. Yeah, but we are pushing above. To be clear, I think we're kind of near that. Yeah, we're at, I don't know if we've surpassed it yet, but it looks like we're at that high on the Qs. Let's look at the SPY. Thank you, ScarJoe Rabbit, for bringing that to our attention. We apologize. It's been quite the day, I think, to say the least, on these here markets. It's been giving you so much to look at. The SPY here on the daily, let's take a... The SPY not quite at highs here yet, but the Qs, at least from what I'm seeing on P-Pro 8, looks like they are at highs or near highs. So thank you, ScarJoe Rabbit, for bringing that to our attention. It's just been such a day that there's just so much to look at. Nvidia, or NVDL, sorry, because that's how I'm trading Nvidia. I did scalp some of it out at 40s and 44s, and I was basically going to plan, and I still have this plan, on just adding as we get to 30s, getting out of 40s. I will rinse and repeat this trade. I'm not leaving this. To quote Jennifer Hudson, or just the character of Effie in Dreamgirls, and I am telling you I'm not going. Because I am not going, NVDL. Unless you break below my area, I'm not going to play this irresponsibly. I am being responsible, but also I think part of responsibility is not panic selling.
Oh.
So that's why I'm trying to not panic sell. So there we go. I have to say, profit-wise, this is actually not much, but this is probably one of the trades I've been the proudest of, just because I stuck with it. And I think sometimes that matters.
Sometimes? Like all the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love the support and this. Like,
why not?
We're always hyping each other up. And again, I want to show it again. Sharif's like casually $1 plus in the money Apple trade. Did you spend the dollar club for yourself on that Apple?
I didn't, because I'm in the sim. So there's no point in spending fake money. But yeah, whatever. Hopefully, thank you, Dara. Hopefully, we'll be back live tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see when the back end office gets it done. But that's the look. All right, guys. Printed here on this NVAX trade. It was a breakthrough VWAP. I got right back in once it broke into my level. I wanted to print above here. We wet our beak 3 times on this one, but it's by no means like a spin the money type of winner. But we're looking for the next print here at the $0.25 to see if we can get it. Oh, thank you, Neil. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yes, there is. Practice like you play. Shout out Neil Roberts. Always doing the most in a good way every day. Make sure to catch that. And guys, remind me to tell you, make sure to get your vote on in now. Get into the chat right now. Exclamation point. Then the word join, then the space and the $, and throw in the ticker of your choice. If you want Neil Roberts covering that for you, throw it in there. If you want the big Katina man to throw or to comment about the trades he had or his look on the name that you want, throw that in there into the chat right now. Exclamation point, join, space, $, and the ticker of your choice. 19,000 just broke on the future. Oh, baby. We're at 19,002. Obviously a very big level. We've been above 19,000 in the past. We've been above 19,000 over here on May 23rd. We got into 19,023. I believe that is the only time we've been above 19,000. Yes. So this is the second time we've been above 19,000. 19,004 on the NQ June contract, which has a few more weeks left in its lifespan. Beautiful move up on the future today. A great reversion off that big move down that we had at the end of the month in May. And we've recovered that entire move down and then some, baby, as the market makes its local highs over here. Really being helped by the Mag 7, no question about that. We have Nvidia currently at day's highs. Microsoft is at day's highs. Amazon is at day's highs. Tesla's not that far off day's highs, to be quite honest with you. Apple a little bit off, obviously. Likewise with Meta and Google, but lots of strength in these here markets, as Adara likes to say, and as I like to copy. What a move up. Let's have a look at NVAX. We're printing on that as well. So yeah, pleased as dang punch. Oh my God. We
got
got the
that break.
break. The break
We
just
got the
happened.
break.
Go, go.
We got the break on Nvidia. I'm so sorry I interrupted you there. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. I can't think.
You're good. You're good.
I'm so sorry. I'm so happy with this
You're
trade. I'm
good.
so happy I was patient in this trade. Nvidia above 1202. Oh my gosh, you know what? I'm gonna get out here. I want my profit. Yeah. Okay, sorry guys, I can't breathe there. I'm pleased as punch. I'm like red in the face right now. Could I have held it for longer? Sure, but also, did I want to? Not really. I'm gonna take a moment to breathe and
Great
decompress.
trade.
Thank you so much. I'm really proud of myself. Also, Nvidia breaks highs of days, and I'm still in my Google shorts, so Google's being weird today.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, I'll take advantage of that weirdness.
Oh my God, everything's pumping.
Sorry, I can't breathe on that.
Yeah, you're good, girl.
Thank
Kill
you so
it.
much, guys, for the support. I'm just so happy to be here. Man, this has been, what a day. I'm always grateful for the opportunity to be at these trade. And I will stop giving my Oscar speech and see how you're doing.
I love the
happy.
enthusiasm, man. I love being on this desk every day. The vibes in this place is always, it's next level stuff. All right, guys, I don't know what else to say. Nvidia's going, so ride that train while you can. But I mean, I don't have a trade on. I'm not going to trade Nvidia. This isn't my style, but here we go. The longs are piling in plenty. We're $4 clear now of that level. 1204 HOD, great flat top break, great accumulation, great trade Adara. And on this 1 5-minute candle, we have 617,055 shares on a $1,200 name. Everybody and their mother's third son, whatever cousin wants some of this Nvidia. Wait for that 10-to-1 split. If you're retail, you'll be able to get into it hopefully sooner rather than later if you don't like the price, obviously. Great move for Nvidia and for everybody long on that on the day. Wowzers, what a move up. Did it overtake? Let's have a look. Microsoft, no, probably not. So Softy, market cap right now, 3.14. Nvidia is 2.96. Okay, so still, yeah. It's coming for you though, Softy. It's coming for you, baby. It came for Apple and it's coming for you. So that's the look there, dear.
Yeah, Softy better firm up a little bit if it doesn't want to get overtaken by the monster Nvidia. Yeah, I still am like, you know, shaking in my boots a little bit there. Happy, honestly, I don't have any FOMO. I say no more to FOMO. No mo to FOMO.
No mo.
I don't know. Because I'm like, you know what? If I had the trade I'm happy with and I'm proud of, I'm just proud I stayed. So that's the big thing there. Please just punch. Google, I'm just waiting on here. We're basically at my point of entry. No comments on this. Not because like it's going badly, just because it's flat and I would like it to just continue lower. I got this because I like that we keep rejecting this 174.60. I like the 174.55 rejection as an area to add as well. So if we get there and we reject, I shall be adding. Also, happy I didn't continue to chop and churn in my little HPE range I liked from earlier while I was involved in Nvidia, because HPE decided, even though it is not Nvidia and has not been moving like Nvidia, that it too would like to have a nice little push up. So congrats to you, HPE, question mark. No, I'm joking, congrats, I just don't know why I did that. If we reject it, VWAP, I will probably short this again, but it's not a trade that I'm hugely confident in. Also, speaking of names I want to short, I want to mention Tesla. I think it was 2 New York cents a while ago before Nvidia had its moment that Tesla, they're asking me about Tesla. To me, I think Tesla is a little bit bamboozling, and I want to look at it in a couple different time frames. Let's take a look at the 10-minute. Because Tesla, to me, in the 10-minute looks a little bit more bullish. I like that we have these continued wicks here below that 90 MA, trying to push further into 167. On the 15, I also see a little bit more bullishness, but on the 5, to me, I'm seeing a bit more of a range. We have this top here, 150, 175.80, bottom with higher lows, mind you, but a pretty guaranteed bounce into that 175.40. I am not rushing into this. I am sticking with my Google for now, but man, Tesla, if you want a range, I'm never gonna say no to a range trade, and I also love Tesla. Let's also take a look at AMD, Nvidia's little cousin, AMD. I was gonna say I spoiled the name, I started saying AMD. But AMD here, this can't. You know, I said Tesla I'd wait, but Tesla I didn't feel as good about. This AMD, I honestly feel comfortable taking this VWAP projection right here, right now. I can't believe it's almost 1, Sharif. Where did the time go?
Ridiculous. Right here, right now. All right. Sorry about that.
Don't apologize.
Yeah, took some out on this NVAX trade at 45. NVAX trade at 45. I'm sitting now at 55s. We're long 92s. Let's see if we can recover back, possibly into 22s. I'm happy I got back into this one. I was positive on it after I got stopped out here, but I did like the recovery off the 50. You can't see it on here, but on the 5-minute NVAX, which is up nicely on the day, did bounce off exactly off the 50. And that's the look at the 5-minute chart there off the 50-period exponential moving average, which is the red solid line on my chart. Now, I am worried with this $0.50 because I had some I had a beak wetter set up on the other side of the $0.50, but look at this topping tail candle that it's putting in. That's no good. So the reason that's no good is because I'm cognizant of these lower highs, right? So if we can't break above these lower highs and continue to trend, then I am worried about that rounded top, you know, being really spurred on with that topping tail candle. So I'm very cognizant of that, and I won't allow it to go against me. Keep an eye out for that with NVAX. And as I say that, it goes right back into the highs, making me look like I don't know what I'm talking about, which is probably true. But anyway, good look there. Waiting for the print at 55s. Alas, it's not coming. 21% in the clear right now on NVAX. I saw a whole bunch of 53 prints. Yeah, we just got some 53 prints. Nothing at 55s. Right back above 50s we go here. Good move. And there's actually a decent amount of size here at 55. Nothing really to write home about. But NVAX has been a good trade today. Watch out for the lower highs. That's what I'm talking about right here. Incrementally lower highs. That may have to change if you want to stay in the trade. Danomite pop. Okay, that's pretty cool. Danomite poop? Danomite poop? All right, consolidation on shop. Sure, let's have a look. Load up the side chart over here. SHOP.
Just laughing at Ramin.
Oh, I didn't connect, so I didn't hear what you said. That I always forget to reconnect my headset, and I miss out on the Ram jokes. I don't like that.
Yeah, those. I'm not gonna lie. Those are you're missing out on those if you don't hear those because Ramin is very.
All right, let's have a look at Shop. SHOP. All right, so Shopify, the great Canadian company. Yeah, a bit of a compression pattern today. Lower highs, higher lows, below VWAP. With a downtrend that preceded it. I'm not bullish on this name at the current moment. Let's put in the ticker. You know, a lot of people keep saying, you know, this company's going to do well. It's going to, you know, outmaneuver Microsoft. I mean, Amazon. I don't know, man. All right, here's the 4 hours. So you can see that's the earnings dump right there from 78 bucks. This is post-split, guys. A bit of a roundy bottom, if I could say so, after that big split. Like, we've been incrementally putting in higher lows. You can tell someone's picking this up, right? Adding to the position over here, because since the 28th, it's been higher highs and higher lows, reclaiming the 50 on the 4 hour. You got the cross between the 10 through the 50. You're getting the cross currently, the 20 through the 50. So the moving averages are all starting to cross. A price action is supporting it. Look, it looks good. It looks good from this rounded bottom perspective. I'd be on the lookout for 69 resistance and 70 resistance if you're going to get in here for a swing. Intraday, I don't really like the trade. It's awfully compression-y. You could play the range if you want, playing off the lower highs and the higher lows. That ain't my cup of tea, though, I got to tell you the truth. So let me know how that goes for you. Shopify, good day.
Yeah, Google broke out for some reason, so I did get out of that. I am still in the money on Google, like just as a name, but not in that trade. So I got out of that, all good. I did take some profit on it, so good times. Again, not trying to trade P&L, trying to trade progress and learning. AMD, you might be like, why'd you take this short? I took this short because I like that we were below VWAP. I like that we were rejecting off that little previous high we made. We are going to do the lesson of the day soon. I can't believe it's already 1 p.m. But you know what else is in 1 hour that we need to remember?
What?
Is the opportunity to have Sharif, Mr. Mustache, and the big kahunas do this.
And you cannot vote for Stash. That is not a ticker, and we will not put it on the rundown. I won't. I will not allow Brendan to put that on the rundown. No. Guys, vote for a real ticker. Go into the chat right now. ! Join space throw in that $sign followed by the ticker. If you want the Katina man to look at your trade, if you want him to look at the levels that he was seeing on that name, if you want him to tell you about his trade on it, you're going to go in and you're going to do that now. If you want to see what Neil Roberts has to say about some of these small cap gappers, go and throw them in the chat right now. Super quick, join, ! $sign, and the ticker of your choice every day on the midday show. We will get that for you guys. All right, I'm continuing to watch Nvidia pump up here through 12:05, now 12:06. It ain't stopping, baby. That's all I can tell you right now. It is on the way up. Obviously, it's a blue sky setup. There's never been a price for Nvidia at this level, so we have no idea where it will stop. You can look at some technical indicators. You can try to use the relative strength index, the moving average, convergence, divergence, MACD. They can all assist you, but they're not going to be able to see what has never been printed before. So 1207 HOD right now on Nvidia. The future moving up as well, 19,010. It's at day's highs. What a move up for these names. And VAX right back up above that $0.50 again. Alas, I'm not getting printed. I've been waiting at 55s for what feels like an eternity. I feel it behooves me to get it out right here to de-risk, since the 55 doesn't seem to be incoming, but I'm just too stubborn for that. So I'm going to pack my patience. 21% in the clear right now, looking for more. Yeah, call me greedy, whatever, call me whatever. Let's have a look quickly at Taiwan Semi. Ram. Let's have a look at Taiwan Semi, because we kept talking about this one and the relative strength of this monster on the day after that new headline with NXP, and they're going to build a foundry in Singapore, this, that, and the other. Coming into the 20 period, actually breaking the 20 period, but for whatever reason, finding support at the $0.50, 162.50, and now it's printing higher highs and higher lows, looking to creep up into that 163 area. HOD on TSM, 163 3/4. What a fantastic look for Taiwan Semi on the day there, Adara. Are you still, you're not holding HPE anymore? Because I was just about to look, I was like, wow, it's back at VWAP and it's having trouble with the WAP over here. So I'm interested in possibly getting it.
I mentioned that earlier too. I said I was considering shorting that.
My bad.
Well, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. I mean, I know you were looking at it earlier anyway, too, right? So people can look at the same trades at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
And you and I don't do that very often, but sometimes we do. I love this wicking. So I don't know if this is my type of trade. I think this is much more of a Sharif type of trade too, because this is not really an Adara Panera rate.
No, it's not.
To use a term that Sharif will sometimes use to refer to my style of trading, but
which you're deviating from, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't think I think you would love to switch it up a little bit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I still think the range sentiment overwhelms my trades, and by that I mean I'm still trying to trade with the rangy way, and that's why I was taking out and adding into this Nvidia along the way. Also, this Nvidia, honestly, I have to say, I literally don't have any FOMO. I'm mostly just proud of myself for holding this as long as I did.
Yes.
And so I think sometimes that's what matters. And so I do want to give myself a small pat on the back. Google weirdly decided that now was the time to run while I was in a short. I'm like, whatever. Still positive on the name. It's all good. AMD, if you want to break below 70s, I'll take the rest of the position out here. I added at that because I was wanting to see what we did at 165. I said, Adair, if we keep projecting 165, stay in this. 165, so I added to it. I was always happy with that. I don't like that we're curling back up. If we keep projecting this VWAP and this 165, I'll stay in this, but I think we are probably trying to break a little bit higher for some reason, despite the fact that we're below VWAP. AMD's being a little cheeky, a little tongue-in-cheek, a little fun, a little sassy. I don't know what I'm saying. I'll stop using adjectives for a stop. Gaurav, thank you so much for mentioning this QCOM here. Qualcomm looks pretty bullish today as well. Looks to be setting its way to test all-time highs it just made a few days ago. Yeah, that is low quality on my part for not looking at Qualcomm. So I don't like that. But let's look at Yeah, I mean, this is a nice look. This also kind of similar to Nvidia in some way, where it hung out at its highs of day, took its sweet time, and then pushed higher. So I don't think that's a bad look at all. Apparently they also unveiled some chips. I believe I saw something like that. There was some kind of catalyst with Qualcomm. Whew! This Qualcomm daily, Gaurav, you did not lie. You did not lie. This is not that I thought you would, but I do love this 90 MA bounce. This is a great look. To me, it looks rangy, but of course, for everyone long Qualcomm, for their sake, I hope it's not rangy. I hope we push higher above that 214-ish area. Look at this topping tail candle at 220. That's a great look. I am going to get rid of my AMD before we do the lesson of the day, but how go Apple? And that NVAX is great, by the way.
Yeah, NVAX is doing well. So I'm happy that we got back into that. We were profitable on it first time around, second time around, same story. But the second time around, I got to tell you, it looked like it had some vigor off that 50 period on the 5 bounce, but the volume is dropping off. And when the volume drops off, you get those bumps up incrementally because whatever is trading this, the algo, whatever, some human, whoever, the orders come in kind of in spurts. It's not consistent. And so you're going to have to wait for fade, then boom, you get like these 2 candles over here that take you up from like 20 right into 60. And so if you're not going to be patient, I don't know if this one is going to work out as well as you may like. Beak wetter filled at 57s. Next beak wetter sitting at 69s there. But, let's go back to Apple here because I'm about to add into my Apple position. We've been waiting over here at 170, 195, 77. I'm going to change this order to a smaller order. So let's go ahead and put it over here. Where'd I have it? Jeez Louise, what does it really matter? The point is to take the order off the WAP. So here it is. I'm gonna get in right now. We're gonna go for a much smaller size. It's gonna fundamentally change my cost basis on this, but that's fine. So now we're not long 195.02s anymore. We're long 195.36. The reason I'm getting and adding this position on Apple is I'm looking for a VWAP hold. So we're gonna have to see whether this works out or not. Right away, I can tell you there's already some selling pressure. This could be directly inversely related to Nvidia. As people pile into Nvidia, finite amount of cash, selling Apple, piling into Nvidia, just spitballing, unreally sure why Apple's selling off these levels. I'm looking for support at this level over here at 195.75. So we've added to that position. And it's fundamentally changed our cost basis. I'm also keeping an eye on NVAX because if this starts doing a rounded top like it currently looks like it might be doing over here, where it's making lower highs and lower lows, albeit on the 1 minute, I'm just cognizant of the possibility. That's all really. And then we'll see exactly what we get at such levels. Let's see what everyone's talking about here. Alessandro, Nvidia 3 and 6 months chart, top Bollinger is at 12.25. Very interesting look. In fact, instead of doing the RSI lesson today for the afternoon sell-off, I was going to do Bollingers, but we didn't end up doing that. Thank you for pointing that out, Alessandro. Gorev, have a look at MU on the 15-minute chart. Not one single green candle and casually walking toward its all-time highs. Super bullish. All right, let's have a look at MU. All right, first I have to wet my beak before I look at MU. And we're going to put a couple of beak wetters over here. We're going to sit at 88s, and then I'm going to sit at 98s. Because what's life without whimsy, dear? Huh?
What is it? I don't know.
All right, let's have a look at MU for our friend Gorev, who is an OG in the chat. He's very active every day. Shout out to Gorev. I mean, Ram, do you like this chart? She says yes, and I'm very happy you said that, Ram, because there's a lot of green on here. As you can see, it definitely overwhelms the red. Point taken, Gorev. There has been no red candle on the 5-minute look since 11:50. Wow, that is a beautiful looking buy program if I've ever seen one. And it's only given you one attempt here at the 10. That was at 12:35. It dipped in. It didn't even touch the 10. When you zoom in, you can kind of tell it doesn't even touch it. But yeah, you're going to have to front run some of this size. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to trade this other than off a moving average. I just won't punch into highs. That's not my style. So we'll see exactly what Micron gets. But thank you for pointing it out, Gorev, because some people probably want to know about the strength on this one. If you don't know what Micron, the reason Micron is moving up these days is because it makes a whole lot of RAM, and these new GPU, these AI processors that are coming out require a whole bunch of RAM, and these guys are kind of like the leaders in that. They've also got a partnership with Nvidia. They're throwing in their random access memory with the Blackwell chip and with some of these other chips as well. So looking at this trade on Apple, and I'm not going to give it that much more room. I will take out what I added in, which was a small amount of shares, if it continues to head below 60. So that is my line in the sand on Apple.
I like that. So yeah, we are good to go now for the lesson of the day. Also, I did get back into HPE just to let people know about that in case you're like, what is that? That is HPE. And that is, we're gonna Hewlett Packard our patience for that VWAP projection. And yes, that was very on the nose. But you know what's also on the nose? Us doing short squeezes this week for our lesson of the week. Although to be fair, we weren't aware we would have all the short squeeze movement this week. So that was a nice little happy accident. So this lesson is going to dive into fading the afternoon strength for meme stocks. We're going to explore how to potentially capitalize on price pullbacks that sometimes occur after the initial hype of the day. So this meme stock roller coaster, we got these meme stocks, they're often fueled by social media buzz, maybe some kittens are roaring, you know, things like that, and retail investor excitement. And because these meme stocks have all that buzz around them, they can experience explosive price jumps. However, this excitement doesn't always last, and so the afternoon fade describes the potential for a price decline later in the trading day as that initial buying pressure fizzles out or subsides. Now, let's talk about taming that afternoon fade. So fading the afternoon strength in meme stocks will involve shorting the stock after its morning surge, aiming to profit if the price dips later in the day. It is inherently risky, but the strategy can be lucrative if executed correctly. So what are the basics of the strategy? Well, we're gonna tell you. The RSI reversal is one strategy to talk about. So first, you're gonna identify your meme. Find a meme stock with a significant price increase in the pre-market or early morning session. Then you're going to monitor its RSI. The RSI is a technical indicator measuring how overbought or oversold a stock is. Then you're going to wait for that RSI overshoot or the wait signal. So as a meme stock price surges, you've got the RSI typically rising as well. Now you're going to wait for the RSI to reach the overbought territory, typically above 70. Then you're going to wait for your afternoon fade confirmation. If the price starts to pull back slightly after reaching its intraday high and the RSI remains above 70, this could be a sign of a potential afternoon fade. Now, what about your short entry and your stop loss? So if you're going to do this trade, and again, to each their own, this is just our take on this strategy, you're going to be placing a short sell order on the meme stock after the price pullback and RSI confirmation. At the same time, you're going to set a stop loss order above that intraday high to limit potential losses if the price continues to rise. But remember, the afternoon fade is not guaranteed. Nothing in these markets are. We weren't guaranteed that 1200 Nvidia break. You know what I mean? Like, nothing is guaranteed in the markets. You have to do what you have to do, and you have to make sure that you're trading with that in mind. Quick ad is also going to be key. Sometimes you have to say, that's all, folks, and run out with the swiftness. So if the price starts to rise again after you short the stock, exit the trade quickly to minimize the losses. Also shout out to Fabian for, if I hear that correctly, singing the Looney Tunes song, which is what I was going for with That's All, Folks. Shout out to that. Okay, I did hear him right. Thank you for that. Risk management as well. This is going to always be crucial. Shorting involves significant risk, as you could lose much more than your initial investment, so you only want to allocate a small portion of your capital to such trades. Now, fading the afternoon strength can be a tempting strategy for some meme stocks, but it does require a well-defined approach, risk management, strong levels, and lots of discipline. So consider this lesson a starting point. This could be your starting block for your relay race towards shorting these afternoon pops. I also want to mention Matthew Booth saying, or who was this in the chat who said, the swirling brain, I love that. Sometimes it feels like my brain swirling in these markets, I totally feel that. Saying, and remember kitties to factor in the squeeze. That is very true. Remember kitties or kitties to factor in the squeeze if you're going to be shorting these meme names. So thank you, swirling brain, for that. Also, I want to take another look at Nvidia. Because, oh my God, I have no words. 12, we're not going to
wow.
This is incredible. Shout out to Nvidia. Honestly, I'm so happy I had the opportunity to trade this NVDL earlier. Yeah, please just punch what we did. Could we have held it longer? Sure, but it wasn't my style of trade. You have to do what you have to do. And Nvidia breaking new highs just casually. Nvidia is just like, this is what I do. What are you talking about? So nice look for NVDA. I'm still in my HPE trade. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. I did get out of my AMD short. This was just super scalpy. I was kind of just getting in and out. We ended up being profitable on all of these shorts here. And this is actually my top name of the day, this AMD. So yeah, the chips, I certainly enjoyed those chips with dip. Shout out to Obi who has said chips with dip in the past. And I love a good pun over there. Chips are up right now, but I guess you get that dip buy and you get involved. How are you doing?
Get it? Like when the chips are down?
Oh, when the chips are down. That's great. Okay. When the chips are down, yeah, there we go. Shout out to Sharif for that pun. We love puns over here on How to Trade.
All right, we got the fill we wanted on NVAX. We got 69s, nice through that. Now I could have had an 82 print. Alas, I didn't have that order out there. I'm going to be packing my patience, waiting for that 22 touch. That's where we definitely had resistance with earlier. We got a perfunctory break of 22 at around 1040, 1045. We made another attempt at 22. At around 11:30, you see I got top wick on that one, and now I'm waiting for maybe the third attempt here at 22. Let's go out and throw an order. Let's sit at 88 because I like that number. I think it's a good luck number. And we'll sit at 88 for a beak wetter and see whether or not we get it. The issue now in my trades today is the dead one. The dead one is acting dead at the volume weighted average price. I'm talking about AAPL. I added to this position because I wanted a VWAP bounce, but there's clearly someone selling as we move up into the 80s. I've been watching this for a hot minute. We bounce off 70, move up into 80, and then there's some resistance selling there. You know, it really is kind of an inverse game or an inversely related game or inversely not proportionate, but related. Look at the down move on Apple and the up move on Nvidia. So I think that some of the money, at least intraday money, is flowing into Nvidia right now and out of AAPL because nobody is interested in this name after being very interested early on, touching 196.90, almost 197. That's high of the year for AAPL, but that was quite short-lived as we moved up. Wow, Nvidia's $12 above the level. So great look for whoever traded Nvidia today. Keep your eye out on the future. We're putting in some topping tail candles here for the first time in a little bit, wicking into 19.0 and a quarter. We'll see if we come down to test 19,000 again, what it does. Do we hold it or do we start retracing and then mean reverting at these levels? So lots of unanswered questions, but a great day for the market, a great day for the longs. Really the only exception today for the Mag 7 in terms of strength has been goggles. It's up 0.5%, but the chart pattern really kind of shows how distinctly different, shout out to Obi, goggles is from the rest of the bunch there. Apple is also weakening at the moment. I've already put my stop through the break of, so if it hits 50, if it breaks 60, that's going to be the end. So I put my stop in the high 50s. That gives me a nice buffer of about 20 cents from my entry area right now. Yeah, the future just turned back into 19,000. Not surprised there. We kind of detected that we were putting some topping tail candles right back below 19,000 we go. But let's look now. Does this area act as a level of support? We cleared it by 20 points. You know, not a great distance or anything like that, but let's watch. Does it find its footing at the 10 period like it has essentially all afternoon, all morning? 11 o'clock, it dipped into the 10 period, held up. Again at 11:15, again at 11:30, and it's doing it right now. But these were green candles, now these are red. So here we go, moving down here on the future, breaking 19,000. Here comes 18.98 and change. Unsure exactly how we end up here, whether we mean revert a little bit. And the funny thing is with the future, it's kind of been the other way around. Let me make my point. We've been selling off and then being bought up in the afternoon. So there is, on the 31st, huge sell-off all the way from 18,667 to the low of 18,236. And we bought up the entire move in the afternoon. Same look. On the third, excuse me, we move up into 18,754 all the way down to 18,438, and then we get bought back up. So it's been kind of the other way around lately, where we're selling off and then getting bought up. Do we do the opposite of that today? Do we like get bought up initially and then sell off in the afternoon? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it was a nice break, 19,000. Topping tail candle coming in here on Nvidia at 12.12 and a third, down into 12.07, still well above the 10 period on the 5, which is hanging out at 12.05 and a third. Let's see what Nvidia does around these levels, but a good curl here down on all the Mag 7 names, saving except for the dead one that's still hanging at the volume weighted average price. Before we send it to Adair, let's quickly look at NVAX. Yep, this is what I was concerned about now. So we did put that topping tail candle, followed by a couple of red candles over here. So what I'm concerned about is that lower high and that kind of rounded top to come back and test whatever, the 50, VWAP, whatever it's going to be. So I'm going to have to draw my line in the sand a little bit closer, my stop for NVAX that is, a little bit closer than what I had it last time, because I don't want to give back any money. Sim money or not, the whole point is to execute properly. Adira.
Yeah, no, I like the idea. But I agree, because it's like when you're, honestly, I think being in the sim, as someone who was in the sim for a while, when I was first starting, I think it is really important because it gives you an opportunity in a kind of stress-free environment to take real trades. So like, you know, there's no, I mean, I know I traded a lot of Lily in the sim, to be clear, but I think those trades, I still learned something from them. You know what I mean? I learned how to trade these stocks with larger spread. Maybe, you know, change your approach, right? So I think approaching every trade in the sim with like that goal of learning, I think is great. And yeah, so shout out to Sharif for the transparency in those sim trades. So HPE, I'm short. Got a third of the position. I added at that other VWAP projection because I thought that was spicy. Look at this line. To me, this is a literal line in the sand. This area we chopped and turned around at like 10. Then we come out, try again above it. Now we can't. If we break above that, I'm out of the trade. I don't like we bounced off the 90 MA. That's why I wanted that area there, not just because it's the 90 MA, mind you, but because look at all these other wicks we had earlier trying to get above that level. My next level is the same. It was a little bit of a chop and turn resistance support area, and ironically, where I entered one of my shorts on this, and that's going to be 1978. Not just a year, but my area that I will be getting my second peak cutter, profit taker, what have you, in HPE. Tesla is still ranging. I should have taken that range short. Before I did, I was like, let's see what the SPY's doing. And before I could do that, Tesla's like, oh yeah, Darren, the short's gone. I dropped. I'm like, okay. But this topping tail candle in the SPY, this is Tesla. Tesla shows me we still do have some resistance at this area. I like this 40s area of support. I am very tempted to take a really small long position here. Yeah, what's stopping me? Nothing's stopping me. You know, I'm proud of what I did with AMD, proud of what I did with Nvidia, but I don't want to have those stop me from taking any other trades. I'm not trading here P&L. We're trying to trade progress and learning. And if I see an idea I like, which is certainly the case with this Tesla, certainly the case with my HPE, though I'd love it if HPE continued to crack lower, and also the case with that Google, then it's like I do owe it to myself to keep taking these trades. So we shall keep taking these trades. What else is going on here in these, in the Tesla turned around? Yeah, Tesla's been so chop and churn.
But Neil was calling out a 176 level on that in the chat, and he was calling that out. I'm assuming for a short? He reversed it long, but it didn't end up working out, because I saw you throw that up there, and it got to 176.15. Yeah, that's not much of a move either. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I want to cancel the Tesla order. I don't know, because I'm like, it sounds.
I just wanted to point that out. I'm not commenting on your order at all. I just wanted to point it out. Yeah.
For saying that. Yeah, I wasn't. I don't know. I feel like because it's been so. I'm trying to play it as a range, so I think with that in mind, maybe this will work out. You know what? I still like it. Still like it as a range play. If we bounce here off 50s, I will still be getting in. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Do it.
Appreciate
do
that.
it.
Peer
do
pressure.
It. Peer pressure, I know.
I know Fabian loves yelling that. I get such a kick out of it. Microsoft as well here. If you look at this, Microsoft, look at this 90 MA area. You have usually a good read on Microsoft. Like, isn't this crazy?
Softy's been dancing with the 90 MA all day, Adair. Yeah. It really has not stopped. And just got a bottoming tail candle through and then got bought up immediately on the 5. Look. This is what I think you're talking about. This over here. This is the green line, the solid line. And there you go. You get a bottoming tail candle, a bit of a doge. And then, you know, you haven't made a newer high or anything like that. But let's see exactly what we get. Good look there on the softy. I mean, we pointed out that Microsoft's chart looked awfully strong. Keep your eye on Nvidia here, guys. This is a very interesting area, 1205, because this is the 10 period on the 5. Let's see if it holds up at this level and starts curling back up. It's not, look, there's nothing off which to chart here. This is a blue sky setup, and blue sky setup in trading terms just means that we've never been at these levels before. So we have no resistance off which to base it. No, well, we have support obviously, but no resistance. So I'm basically working off the moving averages here, and right now we are getting a double bottom at that 1205-ish area, so it is holding up at this level. So we'll see what we get. Now, I'm very happy with my Apple ad, because it was correct. So I did wet my beak twice already on that addition into Apple at the $0.75. We're about 30 pennies in the money now. My next beak wetter is sitting at 10s to get some out there, 196.10s. The point of adding to this Apple trade over here was the retracement into the WAP, and the whole point was to basically look for strength at that level. We'll see what we get, and we won't get upset. As Neil says, I'm waiting for a 196.10. Ideally, I'd like a lot more, but the first beak wetter will be in and around there. Let's talk about what else is popping off over here. Let's flip back into NVAX world, and so, yeah, this one is definitely doing a rounded top. So this is what I was concerned about, right? This is exactly it right here. I don't want to see this. It's not what you want. Let's see if it holds up at the 20. I'm not inclined to use any moving averages that are not the 50. It really hasn't respected any of the moving averages, including the volume weighted average price on the day. So why would I use it? The only one that that's respected has been that 50, and that was very clear to me. It dipped right in that 50 and then right back up again. If this one continues to go down, I am going to get out at the 21 level. All right, I'm long TSM at this level as well, 161.88. Let's flip back to TSM. That was a dip trade that we had set up from earlier. Let's get rid of crowd over here. I believe TSM is on this one. No, it's not TSM. Here it is, Ram. All right, so we are long at this level. Come on, bro. All right, so we literally got bottom wick. Ugh, this is so frustrating. To be able to get out of this. All right, there we go. Oh my God, what is happening? There we go. Oh my God. All right, here we go. We're going to take some out over here. So we have this level on TSM. We're long 161.88 because it's a good luck number. And I'm looking to print at here at the 162.05s. Let's see if we get that move up. Since I have literally bottom wick, anything against my price, I'm out. I do.
Oh, wow. That's intense. Sorry, I didn't realize that. It was like quite the high stakes transition. Like anything against my, I'm out. Like, what is happening? But yeah, this Tesla happy I didn't end up getting in. We're flat. There's nothing to report here yet, but I'm still confident in this position. The more we hold here, okay, to be clear, we could break it. It would be bad and suck and everything. But I'm giving this 15 pennies. If we bounce off 40s, I'll probably add here. I'm in at 50s. I want 70s. Why do I want 70s? This range could be higher. Well, I'm only going to be getting out 2/3 at 70s. But why I chose 70s was because look at this little top we had earlier that switched to support. I like that. I like that level. I have nothing else to say. I know I framed that like I was going to have some big speech. I don't. I just like the level. But let's take a look at HPE now, which, man, for some reason, this 90, I wanted 77s. It was not going to give me 77s. I switched back. I'm like, hey, I'll get more out at 84s. If we come back to 90s, you know what I will set in order to add a little bit here? This is not a huge position. I'm just really, like I said, always trying to practice getting comfortable adding and subtracting. I have no reason to leave this trade, so I'm not going to. And sometimes that's what you have to do in these here markets, is just have confidence in yourself and know, hey, I have no reason to leave yet, so I'm just not going to leave yet. Good. So that's a good time. That's what ended up working for that NVDL, which, by the way, I considered getting back into on this bottom tail candle. I was like, no, Adara, you don't want to, you don't feel that confident. Yeah, NVDL's like, well, you should have, because now I'm 30 pennies in the money. I'm like, okay, NVDL. I get it. It's all good. But no, in all seriousness, I didn't want this to be too FOMO-y because obviously I did not get the whole move in the initial long. I didn't feel a way about it, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting involved just to get involved. There's also only 30 minutes left in the midday and 20 minutes left to vote. So how do they do that?
They go like this, Adara. They go into the chat. They type exclamation point. They type the word join. Then they hit the space bar, that thing in the middle of the keyboard. Then shift 4 to hit that $sign, baby. And then you're going to enter the ticker of your choice. So go ahead, get that in the chat now. What ends up happening is you get your say for what the big kahunas talk about on the afternoon rundown. If you want a specific ticker covered, if you want Nvidia covered, you want NVVE, Tisha, if you want NVAX covered, go and throw that in the chat right now or forever hold your peace. Neil and Sean will give you their look on that. If they traded it, they'll tell you why they traded it, how they traded it. If they didn't, they'll give you their levels and why they didn't trade it possibly. So go in, have your say every day on the afternoon rundown by voting during the midday show, and we'd love to have your feedback. All right, wet my beak on Apple, 196.10. So this VWAP hold continuing to, do well. So now I'm going to sit at the $0.25 for a beak wetter, which takes me to the top end of the range, which I like because I expect resistance in and around there. Want to update you on the NVAC short. I've moved up my stop to 2 pennies below $21. So if this prints anything more than 2 pennies below 21 whole dollar, gonzino. Let's have a look at TSM. We're still bottom wick. At this name, we have 1 beak wetter, but I still haven't printed at my next beak wetter here, profit taker. That is what beak wetter means, by the way, guys. 162.10. I'm seeing 07 show up now on the ask. I'm waiting for that 10. Ideally, I'd like to de-risk everything into about 162.40 to 162.50. Reason being, super simple. An obvious area of a consolidation low. If that was a consolidation area low, chances are it acts as resistance once you break it. So I don't want any of that smoke. So I want to de-risk my entire position on TSM on the way into the $0.50 or, you know, that 40-cent area. There we go. We got the beak wetter, baby, at 10. So the next one's going to be at the $0.25. So let's wait there, just like we did with the other one. We're going to sit at 24s to see if we can roll on 24s. Of course, I don't roll on 24s. I got 22s, but that's okay there. No big deal. Anyway, Patty, I knew you'd like that. Anyway, I'm sitting there waiting for Apple to come back into the $0.25 Adara. Yeah, that's basically it. At 2 p.m., Mr. Mustache covers your mustache stocks. You're learning too much from this woman right here, but not in a bad way. I mean,
The girls gonna stick together and punch
yeah,
together.
they do.
Okay?
They do. The girls do stick together, and that's good. That's all good about there.
Ramin's always, yeah, like a girl power.
Ram.
Ramin, well, she was playing some music this morning, and I was like vibing. Yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
time. Shout out to, I always say this, I feel like I somehow work way faster.
live your best life.
On the watches. I live my best life.
Yeah.
I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm like in my feels. It is, yeah, I love the music there. You know what I don't love though is
What?
Tesla.
Oh.
Because mostly just because I'm disappointed in myself. Because I saw we had like this resistance at 60. I was like, Dare, just take it out at 60s. Tried to get out at 60s, wouldn't let me out. Then we had that drop down. Should have just shorted this at the 9 EMA rejection. So you know how I rectify that? Getting
What?
short next time we reject the 9 EMA. But if we still have levels I like on it at that point, mind you. Let's make that clear. Yeah, honestly, pretty proud of today in terms of the trades I made and also the P&L. The one name, okay, unfortunately, for some reason, my chart exited out, so I can't show you, but I'll show you on my side chart. This meta, this was disappointing because we did lose on this trade, but I'm still happy I took it. I still had reasons I like to take it, and I managed it okay. I can't be upset just because it didn't work out P&L-wise. You know what I mean? That's kind of a dumb reason to be upset, but it's all good. Maybe next time, think more carefully before getting involved in that trade. Perhaps, may chance, I do not know. Also, Nvidia is laughing at me for not getting back in that long at 22s because, oh my goodness, nice look here for NVDL. Oh. Tesla, what are you doing? Yeah, Tesla, happy I got out of the, I had to get out, we broke 35s. I managed this appropriately. I really just should have gotten out for profit, but it's all good in the hood. But like, that reminds me, why not look at Robinhood? It's all good, baby, baby. It was all a dream. Yeah, I can't believe we saw Nvidia 1200. That was a dream, so that's why I didn't know what to say. Hood, just lower highs. I just thought I'd bring it up because I said all good in the hood. Also, I actually want to look at Broadcom because I know someone earlier was mentioning Broadcom.
Yep.
And Broadcom earnings next week. Check out the week ahead where we will chat about that. That's on Sundays. But yeah, Broadcom, interesting look here. Up just under 5% in the day right now on this intraday chart, but looks like it might reject that 9 EMA, which I'd be interested if it wasn't a $1,400 stock. Broadcom on the daily chart.
This one needs a split too.
That one, no. This is interesting. We're really trying to push above this 1440 area, which we first got to in a wick basis, then we got to in a closing basis, then we reject it. If we can break above this 1411 on a closing and then a 1440 on a closing, I like this. So I got really excited speech-wise there. I really like that look on Broadcom. To me, I am broadly interested in what we have to do at this level.
All right, I want to mention the earnings today. I mean, it's not a huge list of earnings, but we do have this monster. Shout out to Lululemon, obviously a Canadian company that we're proud of, like Shopify, and that's basically it. No kidding, of course. But Lulu, the reason I'm showing you this, because the expected move is big. The options experts or options analysts are predicting a 10.6% move. That's plus or minus. Last time around, by way of precedent, we dropped 15.8%. So it shows you its propensity to move bigly on earnings plays, so keep an eye out for that. Adara and Sean will definitely have that for you on the market recap show. I didn't look to see exactly what time it's dropping, but the conference call we know is 4:30, so it's definitely before that. Usually it comes in increments of 5 guys, 4 o'clock, 4, 5, 4:10, 4:15. Sometimes they hold true to that, sometimes they don't. So keep your eye on that. We also get Victoria's Secret after the bell. This one also predicted to be a big boy mover, 15.2% plus or minus. Last time around, it was quite subdued by comparison. It went up 5.3%. So interested to see exactly how these bad boys do. It's going to present us with opportunities tomorrow, no question, on both these names, as earnings plays are often quite good trading days if you're able to get the best of them anyway. So we'll see exactly what we get there. So moved up again, my stop on NVAX to a couple of pennies below that whole dollar. So it's going to have to hold up above 21 if I'm going to stay involved. Sadly, I did not print at my $0.25 on Apple. It did make it all the way up, I believe, into 24s, and I was sitting at 25s. That sucks to be me. And all the way down now below 196. So it didn't get that print at the consolidation area top. Should have been a bit more aggressive with my beak wetter there. So sad I wasn't able to print on that. Unreal. This is Nvidia's chart, guys. We are off the 10-period moving average and flying above into new highs. 12, 13, 31 HOD. I feel like that's probably going to change umpteen amount of times by the time we're done the trading day today. But yeah, keep your eye on Nvidia. It is absolutely pumping to the high side. It's the blue sky setup. There's nothing off which to chart. You're going to have to use moving averages or some other technical indicator because there's nothing that you can look at north of 12, 13, 31. TSM, Taiwan Semi, already got my beak wetters, a couple of beak wetters there, but it's not moving in the way that I'd like it to move or that I anticipated to move. So here's what I did. This comes into my entry. I've given it 2 pennies below my stop. I will not lose on this trade. Sim or not, I don't care. It's going to have to hold up at this level. And the reason is not my frugality. It's because it's based on technicals. If this breaks this level, then the trade is no longer valid. And there it is. I'm out for the remaining amount. Still profitable on TSM. We traded it really well earlier up until over here and then profitable on it over here. Alas, we did not get any continuity. The best we could do here was, what was this? A 20 penny winner off 161.88, and then I wet my beak at 162.10. So we'll have to look for something else out of Taiwan Semi at these here levels. Back to AAPL. Back above 196 it goes. So the dance, the range continues to go here on Apple. I'm not changing my order. I'm going to keep it at the $0.25. It is a consolidation area top, but it held the WAP. Ooh. So we'll see if it can continue to move up higher. Top BOIP, Pack B is on the move and close to $2. Looks like it can go from here. What is Pack B up to? These banks moving again, or what's the situation? Let's have a look. PACB, Pacific Biosciences. Okay, I was thinking of something completely different here. What is this? Life Sciences. Why is there a bank with similar ticker?
I know NYCB, but
no, it had a P one. Yeah, I know. Good question. All right, you can show the chart, Raymond. PACB. Let's just put in this ticker super quick so you guys can follow along. It's a good look, man. I mean, we're obviously topping tail. There's a whole bunch of resistance at 196. You attempted it initially at 1110, again over here at 1210, and then again at 1225, all of which have sold off. So I haven't looked at the book, but definitely you can tell by the chart pattern that there is price action resistance in and around that area. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what the look is on this. Let's look at the hourly. Okay, so that looks like an earnings drop of some sort right there in mid-April. Good recovery since that time. You got a pop over here and then a sell the news type event. It's been above 2, my man. But as you can see over here, it's definitely had trouble staying above 2 ever since giving up the ghost at 2 over here on May the 20th. It got into 2 on the 24th, again on the 31st, and again on the 3rd, all of which have sold off. So I'd say be careful with that 2 on PACB. It has a propensity to break 2, at least on a wick basis, and sell off. And that just is kind of my observation, at least the last month or so on PACB. Hope you print. Let me know how it goes. But that 2 level can be bamboozling. There goes Apple again through the $0.25. Now into the third of a dollar. We wet our beak on some more profits there on AAPL as it looks to break through this range. The top end of this range, we were saying it looked like a $0.25, but it's really a third, so it's going to have to continue above this level. Going back into 1% territory is the dead one. Let's see if it can recover a little bit there. Brad Oldman, thoughts on GameStop? Just dropped $2. Jeez. Let's have a look at GameStop over here. All right, what's GameStonk up to at the moment? Let's see. Oh, geez, yeah. Well, afternoon fade, my man. Afternoon fade. Where was RSI? Okay, so the RSI didn't jive here. When the RSI, because this kind of plays into the lesson of the day, so let's do this. So the RSI's high today was 91, and that came on this candle over here. And then you did get a bit of a sell-off, but look, it was very short-lived. So the RSI strategy certainly, well, I don't want to say certainly. Let's see over here. Where was the RSI? Okay, so it was in 70 territory, but there was bamboozlement before you could actually profit. So if you did take the RSI short here, you lost. If you took the RSI trade over here, you printed. It's kind of how it works. I don't really see a level of support here, Brad, at this 28.50, 28.25. I don't know why it's holding up here. Do we have price action support there from a previous day? Not really that I can see. So these bottoming tail candles, quite bamboozling. Not really sure why we're getting a whole bunch of buying. Possibly this. Okay. So this area over here, we definitely struggled with to clear before this candle came in at 10.10, 10.15, and we broke it. So there could be, you know, price action support at this level. That's not the cleanest chart, to be honest with you. So personally, I'd stay clear of it. Okay, we just got printed again on the third of a dollar on Apple, and then it dipped right back down into 196 again. This is bamboozlement central. A lot of zigzagging here on these names. We'll see what we get. NVAC still haven't stopped out of there.
Yeah. If you want to see GameStop or any other stock, as long as it does not have mustache in the ticker, what you can do right now, go in the chat, exclamation point, join, space, $, ticker of your choice. Maybe Nvidia, HPE, GOGL, TSLA. We know what tickers are. Pick your ticker, put it in the chat right now with that exclamation point, join. But you only have until 1:50, so you have 7 more minutes to get your vote to see the mustachioed man to my right. Look at some tickers. Shout out to that. I'm in 2 shorts right now. Google, shout out to Too Short, the rapper. Google has been such a little bamboozling type thing. We'll have a certain move, then we'll have a random, like we had this gorgeous drop. I was like, oh, yay, I wanted 174.90s. We get to 174.94. I said, everything's happening. And then we pop right back up to my area of entry. And I'm like, Google, why? Why, Google? We're waiting to see what to do at 18s, because if we, as long as we stay below that level, I'm comfortable staying in this. I just love all of this little area of top and turn. I thought, Adira, you owe it to yourself to try this trade. So I did. I don't know how I feel about it right now, but I tried it, and I'm happy I tried it. This was the short I really wanted, though. After this long, that didn't work out, which, again, really disappointed in myself. Had I just scalped it at 60s, it would have been fine, but that's really not the point. I really wanted this Tesla short at 175.40s. Tried to get involved twice. Both, and when I say twice, I mean like 2 different times that we tested and rejected. Both times, I was never able to get involved. So that's that's unfortunate. The timing wasn't right. Sometimes that happens, but you can't beat yourself up. All you can do is what you can do, and keep on going, keep on pushing, and keep on trading. So there we go. Hewlett Packard, I'm still involved in, trying to Packard my patience on this one. We are doing a little bit of a bull flag pattern below VWAP. I'm very cognizant of that. I think if we break above VWAP without viciousness, that could be something worth noting. I only have a third of my position left. I was adding and subtracting throughout the day, kind of similar to my approach with that NVDL, just trying to be patient and waiting for the move I want. So there we go, HPE. But also, shout out to the man who will be filling in for me on Friday and Monday. Thank you to Obi again for that. So I want to look at Amazon. Amazon, super strong on the day, as Sharif pointed out here. But we're getting to the high of day, and we're kind of doing things. I don't want to short this yet. But there's something in the water here, this little chop and turn that I want to keep an eye on. Also really disappointed I missed that Tesla short. But you know what? The great thing about the market is there's always more stocks to look at and always more things to trade. So I cannot beat myself up for not seeing every stock in the market. There's plenty of fish in the sea, plenty of stocks in the market. And really, I'm trying to make it, again, less about P&L and more about the very cheesy progress and learning. Your Huckleberry being like, we're gonna shout out Too Short all the time. You need to learn a song. Yeah, I mean, fine. I'll shout out Too Short with a song at some point. Do not worry about that. Right now, though, I am too focused on my Too Shorts to be rapping Too Short. So, also Nick Samino saying apparently the video in the ticker has APPL instead of AAPL for the vote video. But regardless of what ticker it says, we know what the tickers are, and you pick your ticker and you vote. Exclamation point join space $, the ticker you like.
I like this Alessandro guy in the chat. He's newer, but I like his style. He's dropping hot lines in the chat. He's pretty confident about his levels. Shout out to Alessandro, man. Welcome to Trader TV Live family. I love how active you are. I love your trading style. Keep being as active as you are. Here's what he said. Here's why I'm shouting him out. The violent reversal at 12.13 showing mounting pressure. Usually when they attack at this pace, they win. Haha, dang bears. We'll just have to keep that a little clean because, you know, how it's YouTube. But yeah, absolutely. Lucky number 13 here, Alessandro, 12.13, getting a bit of a retracement. But I know you're a man of moving averages because you already told me that you use the 10 and the 20. So I'm all eyes here, baby. I want to see a closing print below the 10. Now, we did get a quick wick below the 10. What am I... Daffy Duck? What's going on over here? We did get it at 125, but it was quickly bought up. So let's see if we're able to hold this moving average or not. If not, I want to see what we do at 12,000. So if we do retrace off these levels and come back into 12, given the amount of effort it took to break 12, do we then hold it? Are there going to be buyers lamenting not having bought in at 12 and then start piling in at 12? I'm all eyes, I'm all ears, and whatever other sensory organs I have, I want to see exactly what we get at 12, I said 12,000 again, 1,200 at that level to see if we can bounce off that level or not. Nvidia is a monster. First, it's got to break and close below the 10 before we can even talk about that 1,200. But that's what I'll be looking at there. The Cybertruck reversing off that 176. So shout out to Neil. I know he called that level out, and then it's coming right back in to yesterday's closing print, which is 174 3/4. Look for possible support here. We know we had resistance here initially. That big boy Huadunk at the open, look what happened. We made our way all the way back up. Lo and behold, we found resistance right at 174 3/4 and moved down to 173 3/4 before taking it. So now that we're coming into it, there you go. You're getting the bounce again. So if you took that level, you're 25 pennies on the money. That white solid line over here, that is yesterday's closing print on the Cybertruck, TSLA. So keep your eye on that. I'm still holding the dead one over here with a 195.80. This 195.80 doesn't reflect my initial entry. We had 195.02s. Then we added on the retracement into the WAP, and it paid because we got a 196.33 print. So Apple definitely off highs and has become awfully consolidated, but still above 196 for now. We'll see exactly what we get into the rest of the afternoon. Let's check NVAX real quick. Nice, I didn't get stopped out of the VAX, so it's continuing to hold up. It didn't break 21. I put my stop like pennies below this 21. So this candle over here could have stopped me out because this ended up coming in at 21.02. I had it at 20.98, literally, I'm not kidding. At 20.98 to get stopped out. It holds up. I can get everything out now because what I see is these lower highs. There's still a downward pattern. We haven't made another candle to make a new high here. We're going to have to really break above 21.75. So yeah, that's my look there on NVAX and the dead one, Apple.
Yeah, and we have a couple seconds left if you want to vote. Exclamation point, join, space. Okay, now it's 1:50, so I don't know if this is still the time.
Well, do it.
Yeah.
We're
going to do this. So pick your ticker. You know what tickers are. We know what you want to see. Definitely put that in the chat. And then you can vote to see, you cannot vote for Stash though, but then if you vote for a ticker that is actually ticker and not the mustache of the man to my right, then you will be able to see him on that green screen with the mustache in tow. And then look at those tickers. So not to fear, the mustache will always be present. It is attached to his face, but you just unfortunately cannot see it charted. So there we go on that. AMD, I love this. There's something on this. I don't know what it is yet.
AM Dizzle?
Pardon?
AM Dizzle?
AM Dizzle. It's AM dancing here. Look at, I drew these levels because I'm obsessed with this. Look at this base we had earlier that broke, right?
All treble.
At this 165.30. Now we come to 165, we chop and churn. I had that short earlier. And then we go break down. Now, I think we could go one of two ways. We break down again, in which case you know I'm short, or we bounce in between these areas, in which case you know I'm long and scalping. It looks like I will be short. I say I will because I'm absolutely taking this. I have 9 minutes left. You know I'll be taking this trade. I don't want to overtrade, but if I see a level I like, I owe it to myself to take it. And that today, I will be honest, it's a really hard day to not trade P&L because, oh, I guess it's a long. Okay, AMD, I see ya. I see ya. Oh, AMD doesn't want me. That's fine. That's fine. If you reject 165.30, I'm coming for you. But no, basically what I'm trying to say is I had a good day. There were some good trades here. And it's really, trying not to trade the P&L and just focusing on trades that work and learning. That's been hard, but I'm proud to say I am up on the day. This NVDL did kind of contribute to that. But really it's just about sticking to ideas you like. And to me, what I'm proud of in this NVDL, it's not the profit, it's that I stayed here. Because I dislike hive day breaks. And as Sharif, we were talking about Adara Panera trades. Me from like a month ago would absolutely have not stayed in this. But I stayed to get that hive day break because that's what I wanted.
Bang.
And so I was able to get it. Did I stay for very long? No. And if I go and journal this, I'm going to say, obviously, Adara, you should have waited for way longer. But for now, I have to focus on the fact that I took the trade I wanted to take, which was my hive day break. So I got it. So I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit for that. Pamp, as Sharif says. AMD did pamp. Happy I didn't take that short. But if we do reject that 165.30, you know someone is short, and I am that person. Also, HPE just chilling. I'm in the money on it. Not too much to say.
Love it.
Thank you.
I want to point out this individual by the name of Zaza. I love your name, dude. He says AMD. I really don't have any comment about AMD. I just want to know if you're related to Joey Zaza. Are you related to Joey Zaza? I need to know immediately. Do you know who Joey Zaza is?
No, but I know there's that cat that Sheldon has in Big Bang Theory. He's named Zazzles. But
Yeah,
I know
no. Joey Zaza is from Godfather 3.
I haven't seen
and
the third
he's
one.
the mob boss that nobody likes. He was kind of supposed to be the John Gotti, the well-dressed guy, the guy that all the media likes, but the guy that the other Dons don't like because he's too loud, right? And they don't want too much attention. They want everything undercover, right? That's how it is. So shout out to Joey Zaza there in the chat. I love your name. Alessandro, the EMA holding bounced off it. We may ride the top of the Bollinger, and I'm assuming you're talking about NVDA, because yes, absolutely, we held the 10 period again on NVDA. We made yet another high, not by much, 12-13-49. Good look there as we inch higher to the Bollinger Band area that Alessandro was telling us about. I forget the area that he was saying. Let me see if I can go back and have a look. I think it was a bit farther away now. Yeah, it's probably gone. Yeah, throw that in the chat again, Alessandro, about your levels there on the Bollingers for Nvidia. Throw that in if you're able to. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, Nvidia is rocketing up. Apple's back at the $0.25. I put another out there at a third on the dead one to see if it prints at this level. We're showing 29s now. I'm sitting at 33s. Now we're showing 30s, so we'll see exactly if we get that level. Here comes 31 there on the ask. Can we get some 33s? Okay, so we'll have to pack our patience. All right, so now I'm done the NVAX trade. So I should have taken this out in the 30s. So we stop out break even, well, not even break even. It was actually made money on that. On the rest, as it did break 21, all good. Definitely should have taken out a little bit more there at the $0.50 or $0.33, as it does now break down below that level. So good trade on NVAX, but it doesn't, continue with that parabolic nature like it did in the afternoon. All right, I have one more out here on the dead one. As we did get that 33 print, so we're gonna let this one ride, baby. If it can come into 197s or high 196, we'll take it there. Eddie R, actor Joey Mantegna as Joey Zaza. Yeah,
I love Joe Mantegna.
I don't even know who he is.
Oh my gosh, you don't know Joe Mantegna?
No, well, you don't know who Joey Zaza is.
Okay, but Joe Mantegna is iconic, and he's the real
So
man.
is Joey Zaza.
Joe
Let me have to pull this out.
I'm getting upset.
What else did he act in?
Oh, he starred in Criminal Minds, and also he's still in Criminal Minds, even though he's way too old to be an FBI agent in real life. But that's just how iconic he is.
Zoe.
So, yeah, so there we go. I love Joe Mantegna. I had no idea he played Joey Zaza.
Oh, no?
I need to watch the third one now.
Oh, you've never watched the third one?
I know, I've seen the first one and part of the second one. I've not seen the third one.
Okay, yeah, the third one is, a lot of people say it's not as good as the other ones, but yeah, of course. Anyway, I don't know why I can't find it here. Joey Zasa. Oh, there we go. So I spelt it wrong. Okay. So who's he played by? Was it Joe Mantegna guy? Why isn't it saying his name?
That's weird.
Yeah, anyway, whatever. We'll look at that after. But yeah, shout out to Joey Zaza there. And he, you know, it didn't end well for him though, Adara.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah. Well, exactly. There goes Apple, baby, through the $0.50. I ain't taking it out here. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All the way up into 197s. Let's see if we can get something in and around there, Adara. Any final thoughts before we take off here?
Yeah, I mean, wow, this Tesla. So someone in the chat saying something about participation trophies. I don't know participation trophies. I'm just trying to go here every day. But you know what I do know about? Participation trophies. So I am in this Tesla. I am participating. And you got to participate, not anticipate. And so that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? No, in all seriousness, I know I'm very optimistic, but I do take this all very seriously. And if you know, I make my little jokes, you know, about being green on the positivity. I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think you've got to stay positive. I think you've got to stay motivated, or else what am I doing here? So there we go. Flat on Tesla right now. Maybe a little bit too early to talk about participation trophies, but if we break below 175, I am good to go. Let's get out here at 85s. I like that. This is just a small trade. Again, just trying to take these trades to practice the confidence, the confidence, whatever you want to say, getting involved, getting those trades, taking those names. So there we go on TSLA. But yeah, I want to shout out your Apple and your inbox trades today, and also your TSM, which was kind of forgotten because I know you hadn't mentioned it a little bit.
Yeah.
That TSM was, I saw that TSM trade on Tree's board and I was like, because it was such a good look.
I just want to mention what Neil said in the chat. This is hilarious. Godfather 3 is terrible, but it's worth watching. Yeah, somehow I do agree with that. I wouldn't say it's terrible. It's just definitely not up to the standard of the first two. Definitely, because the first two were masterpieces. The third one, I feel, you know, it doesn't reach that level. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, Adara. As we wrap up here, I'll be on for like another minute or so. I was really wanting to take some out here at 69s on Apple. Apple's really getting into that resistance area. We're at pivot level, resistance level 2 on pivots. We broke through it initially, but we spent very little time above it. As you can see over here, it was a quick wham, bam, thank you, 196.90, and then all the way down back into the WAP we held, and that's where I added again right there. Let's see if we can get a 197. You know how Apple is, though. It's heavily traded these days, and then it ends up selling off a little bit into the afternoon. So be careful with any Apple longs going into the afternoon, guys. That's just been kind of my observation there. Adara, I'm going to leave you with everybody, and then I'll see you a little bit later.
Thank you so much, Sharif, for killing it in general and those awesome trades. I do want to shout out his casual $+ winner on Apple. So nice look on that. Congrats to you. Tesla, if you want to break 175, I'll say congrats to you as well. But thank you guys so much for everyone, for all the support in the chat. I'm literally just always so happy to be here. And you know, you got to stay positive because these markets do love trying to get you down. You got to keep getting back up. Also, I do want to clarify, I do not have that much coffee. I am on my second coffee of the day. I am just so energized by what all these markets do. Nvidia, yeah, go, says CompSRX. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna shout it to you, CompSRX. If you're long Nvidia, I'm sure you are pleased as punch right now. Look at those bounces off that 9 EMA. That is literally just a gorgeous trade there, that NVDA. So shout out to anybody who was long that. Shout out, I know some people were saying maybe short the top on this. I think right now we are continuing to see these higher highs. We're at high of days, I'm not gonna lie. I don't see a huge short level, but again, as we always say, hope everyone prints as long as you have your risk management intact. That's what matters. What a great community. Always so happy to be here. I cannot believe we are midway through this week. This crazy week that we've had here with these GMEs, with these short squeezes. Nvidia making new highs of days every time we blink. And we also have Amazon here trying to fall off that 90 EMA. I thought that was kind of an interesting level. But you know, without any further ado, we are going to have to say au revoir pretty soon, not right this second, but we're just getting ready to go here to say goodbye. We will see the mustachioed man who usually sits to my right at that green skate, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time and same bat channel. Sharif's at the big screen, guys. Bye.
Futures at day's highs as we speak. We all watched that 19,000 break on the NQ during the midday. Okay, yeah, okay. So there you go. There we're at day's high as we speak.